So, do you want to be a mage or a fighter? I can show you how to be a shield.
Welcome to this, the first episode of Fading Footsteps, a brand new viewer game brought to us by Holly. Oh, hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Before we go round, let's take a moment to check out all these wonderful links and punch our microphone a little bit. The bot is now spamming you with all of the links, including places you can find us, places you can support us, places that you can go to see more information about our sponsors. Big shout out to Major Hand Press and Bird in the Storm Publishing, both of whom make this all possible. And lastly, there are some websites where you can get some 10 to 15% discounts, and our tweet. Every retweet really supports us and is very helpful if you go tweet, so thank you. Oh, hi, Holly. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good.
Good. Hi. You
Hi.
ready? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm Holly. I'm the DM. I guess we're introducing ourselves. I'm gonna have some fun. I missed the part where we were introducing ourselves, so we're off to a good start. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to see everybody coming in chat. You can find me at Sagephilia on Twitter, and I'm around in other places sometimes. Just find me, or don't jump out of the shadows at me.
Fantastic, thank you. Let's go clockwise around and start with our regular player, and we'll be seeing her every week. Oh, hi, Abigator Frenzy. Abby!
Oh, hello! It's so good to see you guys today. Anyway, welcome to the first episode of, what is it? Fading and Footsteps, and Fading. I'm super excited. My name's Abby, also known as Abigator Frenzy. I'm on the interwebs doing stuff, but that doesn't matter because today I am going to be playing a challenging artificer is a new class for me, so artificer / bard. I'm super excited, I'm here.
You are, and it's fantastic. Next around the screen, we know him as Boogie. 77 Kojo, oh hi!
Hi. I'm Buggy. I go by Team Totem here on Twitch. I'm excited to be here.
You guys are killing it with these intros. I love it,
Introduction and hi.
I am the awkward
Setting
silence.
the bar so high already.
Do you know what? I make it no secret that I love awkward silences. One of my favorite places to be is in an elevator. I could ride an elevator just all day with that awkward silence with just random strangers. Like,
if you ever want to try something different, you should be like the bathroom attendant that has like the mints and the towels. I feel like that's
awkward silence where you're like, I gotta go pee or
No,
something.
he needs to go to like some random restaurant and pretend to be a bathroom attendant. They don't even have one.
I'm down. I've got a free weekend. I might do some of these things.
Towels.
I'm writing
and,
that down.
Like a bowl of mints.
What else could I do? Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's go round to our last player. Oh, hi, tired vampire. Oh, vampire. Ori. Oh, hi.
Yeah, it's spelled that way because someone stole vampire with the correct spelling. Whoever you are, I'll find you. No, I'm kidding. So you can find me here on Twitch at tired_vampire, on Twitter, everywhere at tired_vampire. I do the D&D streams on my channel as well. We're currently doing Strahd and Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And that I have thrown a bunch of fey fuckery into, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm playing Daily. Props to whoever gets the name reference. A Aarakocra Blue Jay monk who's out to find a dragon. That's not very nice. I punch things with my blue feathers.
Fantastic. And I will be playing an apprentice today. I play a wizard apprentice who is learning to be a war mage. Young lad, very impressionable. Don't really know who he is yet. I'm going to learn through roleplay because, his whole life's ahead of him. It's going to be great. Without further ado, Holly, do you want to take this show by the reins and show us how to D the Ds?
Yeah, of course I do. So, you wake up, you look around. Clearly, this is an inn or a tavern of some sort. The bed is cheap and the rest of the furniture is made of rough-hewn wood. Your back is stiff and your head swims as you sit up. Last night is a blur. Odd, as you're not one to forget events easily. You spy a glass of water on the nightstand and lift it. A piece of paper placed under it drifts to the floor. It seems unnaturally bright in the dim dawn light that fills your room. Before or after swallowing the drink, you bend over to pick up the paper. Words swirl before your eyes, but with a few blinks, you're able to decipher them. Good morning. I will be hoping this letter finds you well. Last night I had the pleasure of seeing your power on display at the bar downstairs. It was quite the exciting night, I can assure you. So impressive was your ability. I know that I must try to secure an audience with you. I do hope that you will honor me with your presence over a nice afternoon tea. I have a business proposal for you, a bit of a proposition, if you will, for a mutually beneficial form of short-term employment. I need a few talented people to investigate the cause of some recent shifts in our world. Perhaps you have noticed them. Most people that come here are fairly well-traveled. Even if not, I hope you will sit with me for a spell so I can connect a few dots. If, after hearing me out, you accept my offer, you will receive not only glory, but also fortune beyond compare. I offer you a chance to save this world while substantially adding to your coin purse. Please consider it. On the back of my letter is the address here in town. I will be expecting you to come prepared, as there is much at risk. Best regards, Gast. You turn the letter over in your hands. The address is listed down to the town. Vod. It's one that scratches at the edges of your memory. You might have planned to visit there once. A quick glance in the glowing daylight shows struggling force beyond a modest town. Even in the early light, some townsfolk are bustling through the streets. Millers, bakers, weaponsmiths, and the sound of some distant rooster's cry reaches you. Recent shifts in our world. Perhaps a strange short-term amnesia is one of those. Glance back at the letter, then at your belongings in the corner. Every hero starts with a choice. So, you're all in separate rooms. What would you like to do?
Immediately investigate myself to see if I've been drinking.
Okay, roll an insight check.
Yeah, I wanna check, see if I've been not even just drinking some sort of like drugs, or if something happened that I don't remember happening.
If you can either roll insight or medicine to try to figure out if you are bodily the same as you recall yourself being.
I'm gonna do insight. I'm better at that.
Okay, those are both really good. With these scores, was Flynn or Puck wanting to investigate themselves?
Yeah, why not? It's like my second favorite thing to do.
Kind of
Okay, I'm live.
We've been live 5 minutes and it's already in that one.
Yes.
Dilly dilly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you're not gonna roll anything? It's fine if you don't want to.
Puck is gonna wake up and they're chatting over themselves. They read the note, confused, and suddenly, to their sleep-addled mind, it dawns on them. Oh, I was probably in the bar last night, and I probably imparted some wisdom on this good man. Obviously, he needs my help as for potions. Obviously, so yes. Yeah, I'll go. They obviously need me. Not doing an insight check or anything, just assuming. Of course.
Just knows.
So, Centagon, you're sort of like, what happened exactly last night? And you don't remember drinking anything strange. So, this amnesia thing, it's definitely weird, and you're pretty sure that someone must have either put something in your drink or your food, because you don't normally, get that sort of party crazy in a new town that you don't know that you've ever been to before. Diley, you can remember a lot, and you definitely remember someone giving you something and telling you to drink it, but you don't remember it being at the bar. You can't really make out, like, you're trying to recall this. Something weird definitely happened to you last night, but you don't, it like keeps slipping away. You know you didn't do it of your own volition, but every time you try to focus on your memories of the person who gave it to you, it just sort of goes dark.
Okay.
Flynn, this seems like every single day to you. Like, you don't really remember what happened 2 days ago either, let alone 3. So this is just your average day. You probably just, maybe you have some sort of like weird sleep disorder. Don't know, but this is normal to just wake up and have no idea where you are.
Finn used to this. This happened every day to Finn. He says to himself out of the blue.
Diley's like, I don't drink. What happened?
Syntagon is freaking out because they know they're a tiefling and people don't like tieflings, and someone saw their power and put spells on them and put something in their food, and they don't remember what happened, and they're just going to start doing some breathing exercises that their elven teacher used to teach them.
Diley's gonna stay calm and just go gather her things and go downstairs. Or back out to the...
It's downstairs. So you you get your stuff together, you open the door, and you're clearly sort of on like a second level that looks like it's just rooms. There are like doors and then like a couple feet and then another door and so on and so forth. The walls aren't super nice made. They're not super insulated. So as Diley opens the door, there's a and pretty much everyone on the floor can hear this. And do you wear shoes?
She's got little leather like foot wraps, but her toes and her claws are out.
So you guys sort of hear like the as Diley walks into the hall, and you're really made aware that this, whatever you're in, tavern or inn or whatever, like, you better be quiet while you're in there because everyone can hear everybody's business. Okay. So you walk into the hall. You want to go downstairs?
Yeah, and she's gonna realize that she's making the floor creak, so she's gonna try and like be more careful with her claws because she's like, "Oh no, I don't like making noise. This is no. How did I get up here?"
You find your way down a staircase. There's like not a great rug, but there's a rug that goes down the staircase. Just sort of a runner, and there's downstairs. You turn around the corner and you see what's clearly a tavern sort of thing. There's chairs still on the table. It's still pretty early, but there is someone behind the bar.
Okay. Just gonna sit down and try and get their attention by like waving my hand a little bit.
You go to the bar and it's a figure that has like long kind of scraggly hair, and you really honestly can't tell what it is until it turns around, and it is a human, and it's a lady, and she is polishing a glass, and she says, "Oh, hello, you're up awful early, aren't you?"
I could not sleep last night. Do you have tea?
Well, hot tea, cold tea, chai tea, black tea?
Hot tea.
Hot tea. Oh, of course. Let me just put the kettle on in the back. And she starts to turn.
I'm gonna watch her as she's making this tea.
She takes the pot and she goes out back where you imagine there's probably like a pump. And she comes back and she sets the pot on the stove and like pokes at a fire underneath. And will you be wanting any breakfast?
I purse my bird lips. No. No, not right. No. I just tea first, please.
Very good.
Purse my bird lips.
So the rest of you, as she starts moving around in the kitchen, you can hear below you that there's pots and pans clanking around. There's somebody clearly who's awake downstairs now.
I'll do the same thing. I'll gather my stuff, loudly open the door, and with my 6 foot pushing on 7 foot body, pounding on the floor, make my way downstairs.
Oh yeah, I'm 4'5", by the way.
Diley, you can sort of like look up and you see kind of like some dust trickling down from the ceiling as there's just like pounding from above you.
She just shakes her head and mutters something about loud foreigners.
Finn, as you round the corner, you see this this woman. She has kind of like scraggly hair, and she's watching a pot full of water on the stove, and she says, "Oh, good morning. Can I get you anything?"
Morning. What time is it?
Day.
Day. I'm gonna look at my wrist, which has nothing on it. Ale.
Okay, would you like light ale, dark ale, brown ale, red ale?
Yes. Finn, yes.
Rainbow ale. A good choice.
Just a hodgepodge of everything.
She just like does this thing where it's kind of like a this motion with her arm as she like moves a glass underneath all of the taps and then sets it in front of you. It looks dubious, but that's what we're here for.
It's D&D.
Finn, thank you. Takes it and just downs it.
You notice something almost familiar about this feathery person also sitting at the bar. And Dyles, you look at this very loud person. It's like something scratching at the back of your head where you're like, gosh, like something with you has happened. But I don't recall what exactly, when exactly, or why.
What is he?
Oh, I forgot to say this. My character is a Goliath fighter. That's why I'm acting like an idiot.
She's known some very intelligent Goliaths throughout her short lifespan, and she's like, okay.
Finn is not one of them.
She's kind of side-eyeing him a little bit, as much as a bird person can side-eye somebody.
Birdson.
Their pursed bird lips.
As much as an Eric Cocker can side-eye someone. She kind of just is trying to figure out how she knows him. If maybe he's the person that made her drink something last night, or...
Roll a perception check.
Do you want me to do the same thing too, or just...
If you're suspicious.
Also, big thank you to Michael Wayne, who donates a 50-50 die to both Tired Vampire and Abigail Frenzy. With a 50-50 die, instead of rolling a regular dice, we flip a coin, and on an odd number, you critically fail. On an even number, you critically succeed.
I'm so scared by that. Thank you.
If I succeed, thank you. If I fail, not cool, but I'm donating anyway.
Hey, I'm only gonna use that if I'm in the air. That way, if I go out and like fire and flame.
It's not flying, it's falling with style.
My guy's not going to be suspicious of anything.
So
It's
as
just
you're
an average night.
Which actually, one of my flaws is I'm suspicious of everyone anyway, so it doesn't matter.
as you're looking at him and looking at that tea that's taking an awful long time to come to boil and looking back at him, yeah, he's familiar, and for some reason you're associating him with sock puppets? Maybe? Does he look like someone who's ever worn socks before?
Does he look like a sock puppet? I mean...
No, but something is just linking sock puppet in your mind.
Okay, so he's harmless. All right. Bartender, how long on the tea?
She kind of goes over and she like looks like it's ready, and she'll pull out like a mug and pour it in, and then she'll offer you it's like a little like steeper like little ball with some herbs in it, and
does she put it in there? Okay.
Yeah, she'll just dunk it in there. And just as much as you want. I'm not here to tell you how to drink your tea. She kind of like looks around at you and says, "Where's the rest of your troop then?"
I'm gonna pretend I'm not an amnesiac. I believe that they are sleeping.
Oh, what a shame.
I'm gonna investigate this tea.
You may do so.
While they're doing that, do I have the same thing that happened to them where I'm getting the same kind of vibe off of Bird Person?
You feel like there's a memory there that just is not piecing quite together.
Okay.
It looks like tea.
Suspicious bird noises. She's just like cocking her head, very bird-like, cocking her head. She kind of sniffs it, opens the little steeper thing to look and see if there's anything inside, and then says, "Screw it. I've already been drugged once tonight. Why not do the second time?"
There are leaves inside.
It's poison ivy.
Mm.
Can I go up to bird person? Hello, bird person. We meet? Have we met before?
I'm
still learning caveman, I'm sorry.
Do I speak English yet? Oh yeah. So she just kind of looks at you, and yes. Are you Goliath with the sock puppets? Yes.
Sock puppet?
Upon me hearing sock puppet, you clearly remember yourself with sock puppets.
I'm gonna do this motion with my hand. Huh? Just do something like that. Like, confused, but
She's
apparently I have a knack.
Perpetual, like, bird head cock thing, and it's just like...
The lady behind the bar gives some claps and says, "Yes, it's perfect. It's just like last night. Everyone was just blown away. And the dance you did, I've never seen a bird move like that."
I've never seen this bird move like that.
Finn, you remember the bird moving like that now that she says something about it.
I do.
Yeah, it was like almost majestic, but just a little too much of the funky chicken to be super majestic, you know?
If you call her a chicken,
dance.
she's gonna be really offended.
Ah, yes. Bird do dance. Everything else blur. Bird bust move.
This bird does not dance, but I will take your word for it.
And this Goliath don't sock puppet, but I take word for it.
She's like, I don't even know what a sock puppet is. Why do you have these things?
Finn don't wear sock. He wear Crocs.
Oh no. Also, thank you very much to Michael Wayne for a re-roll for Ori.
Oh, and what?
Whatever you'd like to reroll.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Ignore me.
With a reroll, any dice that hits the table, you can call for it to be rerolled. It doesn't have to leave your hand. It can leave any hand. It doesn't have to be for anything specific. It's literally any dice.
Yeah, it's been like 3 weeks. I forgot.
So I don't want to interrupt people eating, but I'm going to flash over to the people who are eating.
Do it. I have no shame.
I'm not eating.
All right. So while all of this commotion is going on downstairs and you hear loud exclamations of sock puppet and bird dances, what are you two doing?
Syntagon has busted out his spellbook. And he is rifling through the pages. Memory. Is there anything I can look at that has something to do with memory? And he's going through and he's thinking, identify. I used to identify magic items, damn it, no. Flicking through expeditious retreat. Tempeting, no. And just flying through his spellbook and finding nothing, he sits in a panic for a few more moments. And he'd like to think hard about if he did anything embarrassing last night.
Okay. You can roll me. Let's make it a history. Let's get crazy.
That's the first time I've heard them two things used in conjunction, but sure, let's do it. 19.
Okay. So, as you're rifling through and you're trying to think, and did you do anything embarrassing? And you kind of like put the book down and the pages ruffle a little bit. And as you're looking at your spell book, something sort of jumps out from the page at you, and it says minor illusion. And as you're thinking, it's the last time you cast minor illusion, you clearly remember really ridiculous hats being involved. And that really doesn't seem like you. But no, there were definitely hats involved, and maybe balloon animals.
This doesn't seem like me at all. I don't even know minor illusion. But I'll be sitting there panicking, like, okay, I was casting spells, great, in public, perfect.
And spells you didn't know.
Oh god, I'm a warlock.
Truly every wizard's nightmare.
He's a warlock, then I'm now a bard because this bird doesn't dance.
And Syntagon will cautiously walk over to the door. The door is not locked to him, but he would have put an arcane lock on it last night if he was able to when he came to bed.
There's a lock on there.
So he'll open the door with ease because, you know, his room only opens to him, and he'll cautiously look up and down the hallway to see if there's, you know, torches, pitchforks, angry people, anything like that.
It seems like you're in not a super nice place, but it is sturdy enough. There's no one in the hall at this moment, but you can see a couple of the rooms are open. You look down one way and it's just sort of like rooms that end in sort of a wall, and then you look down the other way and you can see a staircase going down with a sort of that carpet going down it.
So he would like to head to the staircase, but he's going to try and sneak out of the building.
Okay, roll me a stealth. Yes. You do not.
He's not good at it.
You kind of like sneak down the stairs, and then at the very bottom, you hear that stare, and it goes, "Eh!" And part of the rug kind of slips, and you kind of like catch yourself on the railing. Finn and Diley, you can definitely hear this over your tea and your rainbow ale, and you see Syntagon very alarmed at the noise that he has made.
You okay?
Ah, yes, I am just fine. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Would you like something to
morning.
eat?
Ah, yes. Can you point me to my companions?
Oh, well, these are two of them, sock puppets and the dancer, and this was the balloon guy.
I'm a sock puppet.
I would like to try and pretend that there isn't a look of confusion on his face. Yes, I did not see them before. Tea,
Yes.
please.
Tea? Oh, I just got some water hot. So it's already ready for you, and she'll put sort of the same like ball full of tea leaves in there.
The tea is good. She kind of tries to say without saying that it's not suspicious tea anymore.
Ah, yes, companion. The tea is good.
Oh, but where is the last of you?
And
Where
look
is
at my
the last?
companions. Like, where is the last of us?
I feel like it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Perhaps she, they, them, our companion that I totally remember is upstairs sleeping in their room.
Yes.
this, I feel like you hear above you an ungodly crash of something. It's just a real loud thud that, like, you guys were trying to be sneaky, but you still made noise. This was, you could probably hear it from the next building over. It's just like you hear metal on metal, and just all this time you're hearing like subtle, like, fuck, no. And a couple of minutes. Oh. Yep. And then a couple of minutes later, you see Puck come down the staircase. Their hair is frizzy. They have glasses that are almost like falling off their face. Looking very, very tired. Not looking suspicious or confused. They just assume they haven't had any coffee yet. So of course they don't remember anything because they haven't been caffeinated yet. Of course.
Oh, your last member of the party.
Coffee.
Would you like sugar?
No.
Or
No.
cream?
No coffee. No,
Or-
no coffee. Just regular strong coffee.
She goes over to a contraption and starts. She puts some stuff in it and she starts pouring the boiling water through it. And she says, "It'll be just a moment. I see all the paint came off."
Please take your seats.
Oh, yes, of course. And at this, they hold up their hands. You can see scribbles almost in pen up their entire hand and arm that look like crazy symbols and scribbles that you can't read at all. Just, she looks like chaos. She does not look, or they don't look organized at all. Go sit down at a table, just put their head on the table.
After a few moments, she comes over. "Here's your coffee."
Bless you. Takes
So-
a couple of minutes. Yep.
Not to be nosy or anything, but I noticed someone was quite impressed. Well, actually, with all of you, word gets around town, you know.
Of course, I am impressive.
Oh.
I do know a lot.
I've never seen such a stirring rendition of daggers and darings in my whole life. It was moving. How long it must have taken you to remember that entire show.
Isn't that just smut?
I just choke into my tea. I just choke.
At
I mean-
this.
Finn's still just looking at his hand.
I'm just like I'm trying to get deeper into my cup of tea at this point.
I point. Excuse me. Any kind of literature is. You have to have a healthy respect for all forms of writing, good sir, whether it be a history or a fiction or about various folks having sex in various positions. You never know. Talent is involved. Don't shame.
I'm sorry!
The sock puppet and the balloon animals made everything just totally different.
It's at this point that Dylea is trying to wish that she was a shadow step monk rather than she's really wishing for that shadow teleportation right about now.
But I don't suppose you're going to go give him a private performance. He was asking me about it constantly last night.
My
How
dear,
he
you
can-
said daggers and demons, you said?
Darings.
Daggers and dares, of course. And Puck is going through their mind. Daggers and daring, daggers and daring, daggers and daring. And now that they're properly caffeined up, would it be a history or I don't know what kind of role it would be to try to remember either, was that what I was doing? Do I know daggers and daring? It doesn't.
You can make me a history or a performance roll.
Yeah, we're going to do history here.
All right. Daggers and darings. Thought by some to be a bit risque. It is the story of a young rogue who would go through anything on a dare. And he faces such we'll say roadblocks and hazards as maidens with wild ideas in their heads who think that he is a bit uncouth and try to dare him to do the most absurd things. And in the end, he falls for a beautiful dragonborn princess who only dares him to give her his heart.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm imagining with the sock puppets and the balloons, the scene with the couple, the Goliath, or no, it was a giant couple, wasn't it? That must have been, it must have popped with you said socks and balloons. Of course.
There was some friction, if you know what I mean.
Well, of
A bit of
course.
cling.
I'm sitting there trying to remember if I had anything to do with this.
Finn's gonna look back at his hand. You didn't.
As Puck is speaking with this woman, everything that they are saying is like really nauseatingly familiar. Like the more they talk about it, the more you can clearly see in your memory things forming, and you are all involved. You are all guilty of performing this daggers and darings.
He's so happy. This makes me so happy.
So glad.
That Diley's just trying to become her teacup right now.
I imagine Syntagon and Diley are looking just absolutely mortified at this.
Oh yeah, she's completely horrified right now. She's just like, her feathers are all floofed up, like stressed out right now. She's just like this big ball of floof. If you've ever seen a blue jay puffed out, that's what she looks like right now.
Yeah, Syntagon has pulled out his spell book and is just looking intently at the pages, not really reading, but his face is bright red.
As you're looking through, you notice that there are things written in there that you don't really remember writing in there, and it's not a language you understand. Maybe someone else was writing in it, or maybe something weird happened to you where you started speaking in tongues. But there are some pages that it doesn't look like your handwriting, and it's not a language you remember. It tends to be like closer to the end of the spell book, where honestly you haven't really thought to look because you haven't filled up those pages. You're saving those for your big, powerful spells. Maybe they've been here all along.
I mean, oh.
Question, DM.
Mm-hmm.
I have my code book for my faction. Is that altered in any way?
You're looking through it, or would you look through it?
She, noticing him freaking out about his book, she would go grab hers, or she would grab hers out of her pocket and like kind of keep it hidden because it's a code book. But she just like flipped it real quick to see if there's anything wrong with it.
There are some areas that have been blacked out.
Okay. She's just gonna slide it back into her robes and then just not say anything about it.
Okay, so the barkeep once again, like, are you sure no one wants any food? I mean, the whole town is practically awake by now, eating their breakfasts. I'd be happy to serve it to you on the house. I made me some good money last night.
If on house, I'll take another ale. It liquid bread.
Do you have any fruit or nuts?
I'm sure I could get some.
Would be much appreciated.
What kind of fruit do you like?
What kind of area is this? Would I know?
It is.
You have.
It is like kind of at almost the base of like a mountain, where it's you can look outside and there are some sparse trees. It seems like the ground isn't super good for growing stuff, and the stuff it does grow tends to be a bit kind of hardier type of plants.
Part of me just wants to go, give me a bowl of worms, but whatever you can find is fine. And
okay. She makes another rainbow ale, and then food for anyone else. Any grits or
Do you have any rye bread crackers?
I'll see. We have bread crackers, but I'll have to check and see what kinds they are.
Regular wheat might be okay, but rye's definitely better, and some low-fat butter.
Okay, I'll just nip right out the back. Anything for you, ma'am?
Oh, honey, just another cup of this delicious coffee. Thank you so much. And then Puck turns to everybody else. Well, it seems as if we had quite the performance last night. I must admit, I don't quite remember everything, but of course, Daggers and Daring is, well, fascinating look into the beginning of erotica, especially, and then she goes off on this spiel about erotica in this certain century and the evolution. Just goes on and on.
I don't think I'm old enough to talk about this yet.
Oh, how old are you?
Looks at the bar person. 18.
I am 15, but I mature at 3 years old, so I don't know how. I am bird person.
The barkeep will put the coffee down and say, "I'm going to nip out for that butter. I'll be right back." And she'll duck out the back. And as she's going out the back, she says, "Tom, keep an eye on them." Then you see you hear some grumbling, and you see tiny ears on the other side of the bar that look pointed and greenish.
Is it a goblin?
Yes.
And he'll...
Blinders. And at this, Puck looks visibly upset. I didn't realize that you were so young. I apologize.
It's
Look,
all
I
right.
am adult.
It's all right. I am young but wise.
I am an adult.
Oh,
I think technically demons probably age slightly slower than humans, so technically I'm even younger. Let's forget that.
Puck goes almost to hug him, but then pulls back. I
You might notice.
to sexual content that he wasn't ready for.
Syntagon has light blue skin with sort of a white shock of hair with some white pink horns. His face is particularly boyish, like that chub of a young person. It's very round and soft. He hasn't hardened out yet at all, and if you look on his chin, there's a few small hairs there that are just look as though they've never been even tried to be cut, as he's possibly grooms them. The most cared for hairs.
I finally have facial hair.
Showing it off like a badge of honor.
He's got those 3 hairs on top of his head, like Ed, and Eddie, like Ed. Got the hair slicked back. I'm gonna just keep an eye on this goblin for now.
He seems exceptionally disinterested. He's just sort of sweeping and counting potatoes behind the bar and stuff.
Who counts potatoes?
He counts potatoes
Why?
because they need to keep stock of their inventory. I don't know. I don't run
actually,
a shop.
that
I'm
makes
a monk.
perfect sense. That does make perfect sense. Prediction of profits.
Puck. Sorry, I'm a nanny, so there's literally a song about counting potatoes that I have memorized. Continue.
I don't even know what I'm gonna do right now. I'm just gonna, I don't know, finish my tea.
Noticing everyone sort of observing him, this goblin looks at you and says, "You want potato?"
I will. Yes.
No.
It's my potato.
I like this goblin.
You can have half potato. And he like takes out this cleaver and just tunk the potato in half and gives you half of the potato uncooked, unpeeled, just a half a potato, and he like starts eating the other half.
She's gonna do the same thing. She's just gonna hold it and start pecking it. Just pecking it.
Mr. Goblin, is this a non-smoking establishment?
No.
Excellent. And Syntagon will start thumbing tobacco into his pipe.
At which point Puck is going to... Are you old enough to be smoking?
I'm a wizard! Of course I'm old enough to be smoking.
Let boy do what boy wants in his life.
Of course. I have some literature you might want to look over. She proceeds to go into their bag, and it's literally... They almost climb in the bag. It's like a Mary Poppins bag, right? So you see Puck go half inside this bag, come back with some papers about research. This is research, my dear, of the dangers, the possible dangers of that smoking has on your well-being. I just, in case you were interested, they hand the papers over and...
Now this is very interesting. I actually did a thesis on smoking and psychology at one point. We should discuss this.
Pecking my potato.
Her Puck's eyes are... Oh, I would love to. Academic discussion is...
You see, I counter...
One of the delights of the world.
Yes, I counter the negative effects of smoking with the uses in research. For example, putting your brain under the same effects of chemicals when doing one thing can help you to remember them if you do it again. That's why I smoke when I cast spells.
Yes, but counteractive, the effect it has on your physical body, such as your respiratory system, your breath capacity. Dear boy, once you get older, that... you will start to feel it. No.
Hang on. Wait a minute. Are we talking about... Because we're talking about smoke, right? And the effect it has on the body.
Yes.
I'm a tiefling.
Oh!
I'm resistant to smoke damage.
Of course. Abby, as me, totally forgot about that. I'm just gonna go with it. Puck
Scrap made it up on the spot, so carry on.
DM accepts this.
Have the papers and slowly slide them into their bag again. Like, apologies.
Does she have pamphlets? Just general question. Does she have pamphlets on everything? Because that would be hilarious.
A bag of holding just for all the pamphlets.
Oh my god.
She have a pamphlet for eating a potato roll that was just sliced from a goblin's cleaver.
I'm sure
his pocket cleaver.
Beware of tetanus.
She's a bird. She doesn't care.
As the pamphlets are being put back into the bag, everyone roll me a perception check.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was 19 was mine. I was going to be really happy.
Oh my god, I didn't
So
roll
I rolled
one,
the wrong
rolled
thing.
20.
A performance? You doing a performance? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so
Sounds like a very distressed cow, right?
So Finn and Syntagon, all of you hear the door open in the back, like through the kitchen, and Tom's head sort of whips around and he sort of like takes your potato from you and like scurries off with it. You get the impression perhaps he was not supposed to be eating or sharing these potatoes, only counting. And Syntagon and Finn, you hear the voice of the barkeep as she's walking back into the building, talking to somebody who is clearly out the back. and saying, yes, I know. I'm sure they'll be headed there soon. Just tell them to be patient. And then she comes in and she has a plate of butter and it has crackers around it. And she, oh, here you go. Rye, yes.
Yes, thank you. That's perfect.
And unsalted butter. And she smiles and she shoos Tom out of here, and he grumbles as he leaves. And all good on drinks then.
Yes, thank you. Be trying to prestidigitate the fat out of the butter.
Slightly disappointed that the potato's gone now.
Well, I have some other things to do. Around here, I have to get all the tables clean and all that. It's much too late last night when everybody left. So I hope you don't mind if I do a spot of cleaning while you're finishing your drinks.
Okay.
She'll bustle off and start cleaning the tables. As you look around at her cleaning these tables, it does appear that there was like, y'all did some damage. There's like shreds of balloons that she's like pulling out from chairs. And there's like a sock that somehow is on like a torch that's hanging from the ceiling. And there are feathers in unlikely places.
Of course, it was daggers and daring. It's gonna get a little messy.
I'm just gonna try to discreetly take the feathers.
She'll like she picks them up and she'll like put them in sort of like a little bin, and then you just sort of like.
I don't want any evidence that I was ever here.
Can I go get the sock?
As you approach her looking up at this sock, she looks over at you and says, I hate to be a bother, but if you could just give me a boost.
Oh, like Simba.
Just to make sure you don't drop her on her head, roll me an athletics.
Shit.
Ooh.
Okay. You like go to Simba and she is able to do like that cheerleader stand on your hands thing and is very surprised and grabs the sock and like you do that toss and like catch thing. And she like seems very kind of blushy about it. Like she didn't expect to have this sort of action on her and like offers you the sock as though it's like a rose offering, you know?
I'll take the sock and put it on my hands.
This seems very familiar, and all of you, as he does this, turn inexplicably your heads to the left and see briefly a vision of an Earth Genasi staring at you and then smiling. It seems like it was just in your memory, but it was also very clear. And she hops out of your arms.
You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
She giggles and continues like cleaning.
What did you put in this tea, bartender?
Oh, it's a steeper. Our blacksmith makes them.
No. What kind of tea is this?
Chai.
Okay.
That's all I have. I don't actually have black tea or green tea. I just have chai tea.
I much prefer Lapsang Souchong. Perhaps I can set you up with some somewhere.
That would be lovely. But, group meeting.
Conference!
She's just like somewhere not within. She points at her head. She doesn't have ears. She's a bird. She just points at her head. She's Out of your shot.
Yes? It seemed like you wanted to have some kind of, discussion.
Did you guys see the person too?
The Earth Genasi with the frankly a little bit freaky smile on his face from last night. Wait, their face from last night. I don't know.
That's the one, yes.
Finn did. Me too. I'm sorry, but this is happening now.
Amazing.
I love it.
I am on board 100%.
I think I
Oh,
might
that
have.
was Guilford Godfrey, though.
I think
Should I make stats?
Stats for Saki.
it's quite possible that last night I accidentally multiclassed into some kind of accidental spellcasting class.
Do you know the wild magics?
No! Or maybe I do.
Just don't turn me into a potted plant. That has happened before. I don't want to do it again.
Hang a minute, let me make a note. Do not polymorph. What was your name?
My name is Daily.
Yes. Yes, of course, Daily. We've been travelling
Daily.
together for...
Time.
Does no one else remember the rest of us?
No.
Finn, do you remember?
Partly. Yeah.
They said I was dancing last night, but I don't remember dancing. I don't dance.
They say bird do dance. You do balloon animals. And crazy hair do paint. Right?
That does seem like me.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't goof that up. Alright. I don't know.
Do
you remember anything? No. Sorry.
they don't remember anything either. Ow.
She was gonna say something about the sock puppet not being sentient, but at this point she doesn't even know if it's She's just like, I don't even know if the sock puppet actually is sentient or if he's doing that. I'm not even sure right now.
I'm
Extra
gonna
party
keep
member.
looking. I'm gonna keep looking at Syntagon, and the sock puppet's just gonna slowly start turning over to diet, and then just come back.
She's just very confused right now.
Did you good people happen to, upon waking up this morning, did you happen to get a note of some kind?
Yes!
Oh,
I got
so the mysteries continue.
The letter said she meets this person at their address in this town, and do I still have it? Is it in my gear, or did this letter magically like disappear in between me coming downstairs?
It's still there. Assuming you took it with you, it didn't
It's
disappear or
just, she
anything.
grabbed all her gear, yeah. So.
Ben didn't get a note, right?
Everyone did.
Oh, paper.
Do you know how to read, Mr. Goliath?
I don't, but I think he do. And then the
Okay.
sock puppet's just gonna read the note.
Sock puppet is Shakespeare. It's just the most, like...
He's the brains, I'm the bronze.
Is the sock puppet an elf?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
When you give your player a weapon.
Does Stocky have hit points? I really want to know.
So do I.
I want Saki to have a name as well. This sock puppet is a total
It
separate
needs
party.
to be something very regal sounding.
Nikkei.
Name it Esteban.
I'm gonna write that one down. Esteban Nikkei.
That's for you, Scrat.
Esteban.
Oh.
Right.
So, do we go to this person and speak with them, or?
It does seem a little bit suspicious, does it not, that we all happen to not remember getting here or what happened last night.
I remember someone giving me a drink and trying to make me drink it. I don't drink the she points at the ale and said,
Somebody made you drink something. Well, that's not good at all.
I don't know who they were, though. I can't remember their face.
It just like average night for me. Yeah, average night.
He's gonna stop. Yep, that's amazing. You need to have googly eyes now.
I like to play my characters. Yeah. Can't even use my mouse now. Long live Esteban Nikkei.
This is my best life.
Sorry.
You're fine. I'm so happy. So yeah, continue. I'm sorry, I lost it.
Somebody made Daily drink a drink last night, which is not good manners. Nobody should. That's quite worrying, actually.
Upon seeing that face, the Genasi, does that ring any bells to me from the whole like being made to drink something thing?
You don't remember those eyes or that face or that smile.
Okay.
And Genasi doesn't seem to tickle your memory quite for it, the same way that like sock puppet or dancing did.
Okay.
Ma'am, and Huck
Yes.
is going to. I was wondering, do you happen to remember? I know last night was a bit of a
Festival.
Yes, exactly. Do you remember anybody buying Miss Lee here a drink of any kind?
Roll me an
You were
insight.
wondering. Okay. Getting out my character sheet.
All 4'5" of floof.
Where are you inside? I got a 19.
Something seems to very briefly flash across her face that looks very like concerned for a moment. Maybe because she's the proprietor and that would be like, or maybe something else. You're not really sure, but it's definitely there's some panic for a moment, and then she says, "Well, it was very exotic. I would hate to think that something like that would happen here. Of course, it would be terrible. I really don't think anyone in this town. I mean, we all know each other. I don't think anyone would. I don't think anyone would do that.
That is very interesting. See, it's very interesting because I asked if you remembered if anybody bought Miss Lee here a drink. I didn't realize that buying somebody a drink would be terrible, but then again, I could be wrong. I don't know the exact culture around these parts.
Oh, well, usually, it's a bit of we have sort of a trade. You don't just do things for people because then they are indebted. We like to keep things even, if you know what I mean. If someone just gives you something for free, then there's an imbalance.
Oh, so gift giving is just not done around this party?
No.
Oh, okay.
Certainly not. No. Your drinks and food I consider to be repaying my debt for the money you brought into me.
Okay.
And we greatly appreciate it.
Yes, of course. You've been so helpful. If you think of anything else, please let us know.
Oh, of course. What should I be thinking of?
Just if you remember anybody buying Miss Lee here a drink or any specific person, we would like, again, to pay them back, as you said. We wouldn't wish to be rude to anybody who was generous.
There were very, very many people here last night. It's possible maybe somebody not from around town, but I didn't notice anyone new.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for all of your help. And if you think of anything, we shall be here.
Okay. All day? Or...
Oh, maybe. We have yet to establish plans.
Oh, okay. Were you wanting to have rooms kept for you for tonight, then?
We shall let you know. I have to discuss with the party, of course.
Oh, with the troop, yes.
If due, I'll need 2 beds.
I Puck points to Finn.
Diley is just trying not to do this right now.
Once again, Esteban's just gonna completely sentiently turn its head towards Dai. And then just turn back.
Sock puppet's gonna go missing at some point. Sock puppet might leave in his sleep.
I'm so glad you said I was a sock puppet.
So
Around now, another person comes into the bar, and it's another human, and it's a man. He has sort of like the goatee thing going on, and he kind of like does a double take at you guys, and like gets kind of like giddy excited, and then kind of like tries to play it cool, and goes up to the bar, and he produces several potatoes from his pocket, and as if knowing just exactly what's going on, your bartender goes around back, takes the potatoes, pours him a drink, and sets it on the bar, and goes and bustles off again.
I see you're man of class. Pocket potatoes come in handy. Finn and Esteban are both gonna nod at the same time.
It's always good to have something when you're going out.
Yes. Yeah!
You're the troop from last night, right?
some kind of band fanboys.
Apparently.
Oh, it was so cool. I've never seen anything like it. Oh.
I'm trying to blend in with like a building wall or something with my brightly colored feathers and clothing. I'm just like,
it is so brown inside of here.
Not gonna happen.
Just standing out more.
like back against the wall.
It was
Why
like
are you trying to hide?
I am not confident in my ability to repeat last night's performance under the current conditions.
Conditions.
He looks kind of like really, really grateful, but at the same time terrified, and says, "Oh, of course, I wouldn't ask. No, I'm not asked. No, I'm admiring what you. I would not ask. No, goodness, no. I don't have enough potatoes to pay for that."
Oh. Well, my good sir, I appreciate your gratitude. It was very much fun, and of course, you can't perform daggers and danger without a certain flair, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I mean, I had seen other plays of it before, but none. Oh, it was chilling and invigorating.
Of course. See, it's all about the interpretation. Isn't it, Syntagon, the interpretation of a piece? I was just telling this fine gentleman who just walked into this bar and bought potatoes, or no, he gave potatoes to the bartender in exchange for a beer. And now he's talking to us because he recognizes us from last night. And also we had a conversation with the barmaid, and she's sketchy as hell, but just in case you didn't remember that, Syntagon, when you were sitting here.
Diley's just still horrified right now. She's just like...
Esteban's head is gonna keep turning over towards Diley.
She's gonna murder that sock puppet by the end of this. I'm just telling her.
You can try!
So, okay. Much what Scrat's expected. Syntagon's terrified, but okay.
Syntagon and Diley are just gonna become friends now, and they're just gonna be horrified together, standing in a corner somewhere.
And it's just like to Diley, look, I'm sure I can find a spell here somewhere. We can just burn this whole place to the ground and move on to another village. No one needs to know.
She just holds her claw up, and it just like kind of glows a little bit. She goes, "I can help with that, but it will be very obvious that it was me."
Down, birdie!
Points it towards the stock potato. Stock potato.
Esteban's gonna like snap out, full extend. What did you say? You wanna go? You wanna go?
Just looking at you, like points to herself. She's like, "Monk, monk."
It's gonna point to me. Fighter! Fighter!
She's just gonna scoot closer to Syntagon, just like to get away.
Oh my god, I love this.
Soft potato.
Oh my god.
As you have this interaction with each other, more people are slowly like trickling into the bar to get mostly like coffee, tea, that sort of thing. And roll a perception, anyone who's watching people come in.
Yeah.
I am. My puppet's talking to the bird.
Oh no!
You said perception?
I'm gonna re-roll that. I'm gonna use my re-roll on that.
Nice.
Did I get another 3? No, I got a nat 20.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay, so where to start? At the top of the bottom.
Should I roll one for Esteban?
Yes. We have to see where the sock puppet is looking.
It's like that way and that way.
So, Puck, as you're watching these people come in, and everyone can sort of notice this as well who's watching, you see that there's kind of a variety of people. It's not all like one race or the other race. It's sort of a mixture, which is kind of rare for what you have imagined as sort of a small town based off of this inequality. Or you're just in a really bad part of town. You haven't really looked around much. And with a 17 and above, you can tell every single one of them gives you this look as soon as they walk in, and then like kind of like pretends like they weren't actually looking. And with that nat 20 perception, you hear many of them. Oh my gosh, it's them. Did you see them last night? Oh my goodness. They were so good. I can't believe they're still here. But maybe I should get an autograph. No, I can't ask for an autograph. I don't have any potatoes. And they're all just like whispering about you guys and the performance and all the potatoes they want to give you for private performances or autographs or maybe just like a feather. Like, how many potatoes would I have to trade for a feather from the dancer of daggers and daring? Like,
She's kind of considering the potato thing for a
Oh my
feather.
God.
at this-
I've just put it together. Was Daily a feather dancer?
Oh god.
I mean, it was a risque play, right?
Are there any poles inside the? No.
Random potatoes.
I would just imagine like crisps coming out, you know.
Bird. Does she? Is there anybody close to her that saying that they want a feather?
There's a halfling who's actually like just a little bit shorter than you that had whispered about like, oh, maybe I can trade like potato for a feather. Like, I wonder.
She's gonna grab one of the loose feathers and just kind of like slide it over to them, trying to hide it from everyone else, and holds her hand out for a potato.
He looks at it and he like rifles through his bag and he says, "How much?"
One potato.
And he gives you a very like really mammoth hefty potato. Like if it was like 2 inches bigger, it might be a small pumpkin.
Is this like
And
baked potato quality baked like potato? Is that what this is?
I mean, it's definitely raw, but yes, it is like it is a big hearty potato. And he takes this feather and he like, not in his potato sack, but in a different sack, like gingerly tucks it in and seems just so happy.
She just takes the potato and just like slides back behind Syntagon. Doesn't say a word. They very much like us here for some reason. I don't know why.
Because
Are you
we're radical.
I'm going to murder the sock puppet.
Is this all occurring to anyone else as a little bit strange?
It is very strange.
I mean-
But then again, I am from a village of bird people, so I don't know how normal people function.
I mean, that's kind of where I am because, you know, I only left Wizarding College last year and... You know, Wizarding College.
Was it the I've heard of Wizard College. Is it Hogwarts?
No, all I know about Wizard College is I've heard many wizards talk about the enormous amount of Puck looks around potatoes that you have to pay back to the college. Ridiculous. I'm so sorry. You must be under so much stress paying tuition.
I have a potato I just got by other I'm not going to explain means, but if you want this potato I can give to you. I don't know if it is currency, but it's just like trying to
I kind of want to know how big the potato is in comparison to Diley.
Well, the potato is probably like almost the size of a football.
She's a bird. She's like 4'5" too, so she's tiny. So she's got these potatoes bigger than her head.
My God.
As you offer your potato to Syntagon, you notice a few people are like looking very interestedly to see the exchange.
To find out what the deal with potatoes is here, and we need to find out about the creepy Earth Genasi dude who was smiling last night and perhaps gave us the note.
I need to figure out who my new patron is.
Oh, are you a warlock?
I
It's
don't
Doc.
know.
I'll be your patron.
I have
Esteban, stop it. I'm gonna hit him.
Finn, I have fireball prepared, and I'm not afraid to use it.
I can. Maybe we should go to this address. And she's just gonna like, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm gonna start walking a direction.
There's a door out if like a front door people have been coming in and out of.
No, I thought we were outside.
You're just sitting in.
Whole time.
Oh,
Just in the middle of a bunch of people, like,
What's up with the potatoes?
Insulting their culture right in front of them.
yeah.
I was gonna be like, can I use the sunbolt to like insta fry the potato in my hand? And see how they react. They'd probably be appalled. No, I'm kidding.
Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
So, you said you're headed for the door?
I'll follow.
Yeah.
So it's you can like get through pretty well. It's kind of hop in, but it's sort of like the Starbucks hop in where people come in and they wait for a minute and they like talk and point and stare and then they leave. It seems like people are a little busy. When you exit the thanks for the raid, guys.
Thank you.
Hype.
I
When you
can't do it
exit-
with a sock.
Sock hype. When you open the door and look out, it seems that you are in the middle of a small town. It seems well built and like it's nice, but it's not very tall. It's not like a city. It seems to be more kind of sprawly. There are a couple potato farms that you can see and other like sort of like places fenced off. There are a variety of people farming. There are some animals. You can hear the tink of a blacksmith somewhere. It just looks like your typical little town. If you look over sort of where the sun is rising, it's still pretty low in the sky, but it's light out. You can see mountains not too far off in the distance. And if you look the other way, you can see it's starting to be a little more forested. It seems like you're sort of on a slope almost. Not a very like you're not like in the foothills, but it's sort of like you're at the base of this mountain range you can see in the distance.
Potato Town is very interesting. Yes, let's go to the address.
As you look around, you can see periodic like street signs. The street that you're looking for is Turncobble, and you can see a sign for it, sort of like 5 feet away in front of the bar where some paths intersect there. It's pointing sort of like in the direction of the mountain.
I guess I'm just gonna keep going that way.
As you walk along, some more people kind of look at you, but it's sort of getting to be a little bit more rare. Most people are becoming seriously engrossed in their work, whether it's smithing, crafting, chasing around their children with brooms, the usual stuff. And you reach the address that's written on the piece of paper. It's 411, and it's painted in these elegant gold letters above this door. That the house seems nice compared to everything else. It's not a mansion or like plantation style, but it's pretty nice. And you can tell from sort of looking at it that whoever lives here is probably the wealthiest or close to the wealthiest person in town. Roll me a perception.
Okay.
I got a lot of potatoes.
Is that all of us or just Ori?
Anyone who's looking at this house.
I'll give it a look. Could I possibly try and apply my intelligence and try and derive things about it rather than try and notice things?
Yes.
So I can use investigation?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh.
The modifiers are about 7 different.
Okay. So, from just the 10 plus, you can tell that this is a nice house. You don't see any farming around it. You also don't see any servants, which may be weird. Not really sure what your culture's like, but usually the nicest house in town could have servants, maybe. With the 15 to 20, blacksmith, definitely. You can hear it. There's all sorts of like metal work inlaid in the house structure. There's a nice like mailbox that's very, very good quality. And then with the 21 and up, as you're looking and sort of trying to figure out like what kind of person would live here, you can notice that the pathway has deep prints in it. There's a lot of metal, but there's almost no stonework, which you're awful close to a mountain. It's weird that there's no stonework. You thinking of that Earth Genasi, it would be kind of weird to live in a house made of yourself. This might be the same guy.
I have deduced from all the available variables that this house belongs to the Earth Genasi.
Sound good to me.
Should we be concerned then?
Oh, I didn't apply any common sense to that. I've deduced. Now you have the information. You can tell me if I need to be careful.
Okay.
Yeah, be careful.
Not him. Never him.
I will knock on the door.
Fire flickers in Syntagon's hand for a second.
There is
Esteban down. I hit him again.
there is a like wood fence around it. Are you knocking on the gate door, or are you walking up to like his door and knocking on it?
Oh, I thought we were at the door. I will, whichever door I can knock on.
You can open the gate. It's not locked or anything.
Yeah, then I'll open the gate and then go knock on the door.
Okay. So, you walk up to the door that we've possibly deduced is probably most likely the Earth Genasi that we had a vision of, and there's lots of blacksmithing stuff around. And
Smithy stuff. Yeah. Okay.
and you knock on the door and you hear this booming bark from the other side. Woof, woof, woof. And the clink on metal stops and you hear like some movement from around the side of the house, and out comes this Earth Genasi. He is pretty tall, almost as tall as Finn is, and he's got some like crystalline structure growing here, but and some veins that you can see on his hands that's like almost like quartz, like that white crystalline structure. And his otherwise just sort of like a slate sort of color, and he's pretty thin but broad-shouldered, and he kind of he sees you and looks at you for a moment, and then he sort of smiles, and it's the same smile you remember from when you looked to the side and your memory jarred, and he says, "Oh, so good of you to come. You got my letter," and he'll walk up and extend a hand out to you. My name is Gast.
How much taller than me is he?
He is almost at 7 feet. He's pretty tall.
I'm having to like look straight up to. Okay. She holds out her tiny little bird claw.
He has a surprisingly gentle grasp when he shakes your hand, and he extends it out to Syntagon.
Standing at 6'1", Syntagon reaches into his robe and pulls out a napkin, which he drapes over his hand. Nice to meet you!
My God.
He doesn't look perturbed by this, and he'll shake your hand also, and it's a surprisingly soft grip, and holds it out to Puck.
For flavour, that was a paper napkin, and as it's done, he takes it and firebolts it.
For flavor.
Puck, instead of shaking, Puck is going to take his hand and very jauntily just kiss it while trying to feel how good of a blacksmith he is, just because having some experience with crafting and tinkering and stuff should have some pretty calloused hands, some pretty rough hands.
Okay, roll me a perception.
Heck, yes.
Or investigation if that's more your speed.
Yeah, investigation. 21.
As you take his hand and do that, his hand reacts very well, and it seems almost fluid. The motion that you go through. He's clearly very dexterous. You can tell from the broad shoulders he's also very strong, and he knows what he's doing with his hands. But no, he knows what he's doing with his hands. You can tell this is the grip of a skilled craftsman who knows exactly how much pressure to be putting on whatever he's working with, which right now is hand flesh.
Which is perfect. I'm looking for a good blacksmith to craft some things. Now I know. Okay.
And he kind of gives you a sort of smile and extends his hand out to Finn.
I'm gonna extend the hand that has Esteban on it. It's gonna.
I love that this wasn't planned at all in your character. It's just kind of evolved. This is Esteban.
Esteban Nikkei.
I see that the act is still going on then.
What act?
I think he's crazy. Best to move on. Best to move on.
Right.
The puppet looks right at Syntagon and turns back.
Would you like to come in? How rude of me for leaving you out on my doorstep.
The firebolt clock has now moved to 1 minute until the sock puppet gets burnt.
We're going inside the house, and Syntagon wants to cast Fireball at Esteban, because that's what you missed.
Can I try to sleight of hand the sock puppet away? No.
Alright, I'm guessing we go in.
I'll go in. Can I insight this guy?
Yes.
Puck,
What are you trying to figure out about him?
If he's trying to be malicious, like hiding any malicious intents is mainly.
He doesn't seem to be hiding any malicious intent, but he's also not exactly being forthcoming. He hasn't said why he left you a letter. He hasn't said what he wants of you. He hasn't said how he got those letters into your bedrooms. So he doesn't seem to be like looking at you all shifty or fingering a weapon or anything, but he's definitely not just like being open.
Is the dog a normal dog?
As he opens the door, you see a very large, like it would be probably up to like here on Gastly, dog bound forth, and it stops just short of you. And it is in fact a rock dog. It looks like it's made of obsidian. It has like some really cool shiny bits to it. It sort of looks like almost like a boar hound, but if it was obsidian. And it goes very quietly upon seeing you, and it almost seems to sniff the air, but does it even need to breathe? Question mark.
So it's not a blink dog.
If it's a blink dog, it is the heaviest blink dog you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
He sort of like shoves him aside and and goes past him and says, "Don't mind him. He loves visitors, and he always likes to put on a big show. But he kind of gives him a fond little look and says he wouldn't hurt a fly."
Puppy! Look at the puppy. Oh, hi, puppy. Oh,
It sort of sounds like a rock tumbler as the tail goes back and forth. It's just like a little nubbly tail, but it's like wagging super hard as you're talking to.
I'm trying to keep my distance from the dog. It's bigger than me.
He leads you into his foyer, which is again very elegantly decorated with metal, and into a sort of sitting room. And he gestures to a couple like squishy pieces of furniture for you to sit on. And he himself, before waiting for you to sit down, will sit into a very comfortable looking armchair. Do you sit or stand?
Huck's gonna sit, but not in any of the chairs. They're gonna sit on the floor with their back resting against one of the chairs.
Okay.
No,
Cross-legged, looking very comfortable.
this is a new fresh hell for Syntagon. There is no way that he is sitting down.
Okay.
Because I'm a monk and I can get up fast enough, she'll sit down.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand.
He doesn't seem perturbed by your seating situation, and he sort of folds his hands on his knee as he crosses his legs and says, "Well then, you've got my letter, I presume."
Yes, the letter that... By the way, how did you get that to our rooms?
Tom, he's quite helpful.
Tom, it's...
A goblin.
Tom.
He's very good at disappearing and reappearing just in a blink.
My room is sealed by an arcane lock.
Yes.
My room is sealed by an arcane lock. That means something.
Oh, in the old days it used to. Tom is a special goblin. Have you ever heard of the spell Dispel?
Heard of Dispel?
Yes. This is the only spell he knows.
Is Tom an arcane trickster?
He
Hang on a
might be an
second,
arcane.
We consult my spell book. I definitely don't have it prepared.
Is Tom the one that messed with our drinks?
Someone messed with your drinks. I don't think Tom would do that. He's a bit
Welcome to the
more
garden.
potato driven than anything, I'd say.
Yes, he does like the potatoes. So you gotta like look sideways, like I don't have anything to do with that.
But if someone was messing with your drinks, it should be taken care of. I'm sure someone will investigate into it. I'll file a complaint.
Insight check.
Yeah.
I wanna know
Yeah.
if he's talking out of his ass. It's not. I didn't notice anything.
Okay. You don't know anything. However, Dai Li, as he says this, you're pretty confident that he's gonna try to do something about it. But he also seems strikingly unsurprised that you are bringing this up.
You
Syntagon's
seem
whole...
like...
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Syntagon's hasn't made a check because his whole world has been shook by the fact that his arcane lock means nothing.
Oh, honey. Oh.
You
luck.
You seem like you know something that this is not an uncommon occurrence.
Well, it is very uncommon, but last night was recently things have been strange in this world. I'm not sure how much you've noticed. All of you can roll if you would like, or you can ask him questions, either one.
Roll what? Ow, 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 stop, that hurts.
Whatever you think your character would be interested in observing in the world.
And strange is a rather relative statement. Things may seem strange to you that seem perfectly normal to me, and things that are strange to me may be perfectly normal to you. If you could be more specific.
Diley, as he's saying things that have been strange, you know about this war that's going on between Valkagnon and Mozani, the countries on either side of Tildapel. And you know your history. You know how things tend to go, where there's this uptick in kind of Cold War style. Everyone's trying to get better stuff. And from the way the tides have been turning in the war, you're kind of thinking about it and you're thinking, oh man, we're due for that sort of climactic event. Like, it's probably coming. He keeps talking to Puck and says, well, you know, strange elemental things. Maybe it's just because I am a bit more in tune with them. Being, he gestures to himself and to the dog.
Being Earth, yes. I'm sorry, was that proper?
He sort of doesn't seem bothered. Would you be bothered if I called you flesh?
No, not at all.
Flesh!
Or fiber?
We are more than the sum of our parts.
Thank you, Syntagon. Enlightening.
So, do I think that why we're here, why I may have been, for lack of a better term, roofied,
It's true.
Is related to this war?
It's possible. You think that might be why he may want to talk to you. If he's bringing up changes, if he knows about things shifting, and is noticing it as well, even if he didn't roofie you, that might be why he summoned you or requested an audience.
Is my village whatever from the wrong side of this war?
No. Your village is actually within Tildapel. They are a neutral faction. They're very nicely sandwiched in between Valkagnon in the mountains and Mozani in the forest.
Okay.
Okay. So are you wanting us to assist with whatever might be about to pop off? If that is the right terminology?
How do you mean pop off?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know about Diley here. Last night when we performed Daggers in Danger, I was okay with reciting the story. However, a more detailed demonstration, I'm afraid I'm not quite up for that. So unfortunately, no popping off for me.
Well, no, I did not mean in that sort of fashion, no.
You dirty bird!
Just like fluffing up a little bit.
I think I'm a little young for the popping off.
If a bird could turn red. If a blue bird could turn red.
Started turning
Your feathers turn purple, yeah.
Although I must admit, I'm intrigued.
She's like, popping off, conflict coming to a head, fighting.
And gun.
We're
Getting out of it.
going to be fighting because we performed a stirring rendition of Daggers in Danger.
Oh, I would not ask you to fight, of course. I saw your abilities and not just the recitals and all that, but you are powerful. you are fast and you are smart. And I need some intellect and wisdom. See, I happen to have had a chance encounter with two. Well, would you like to see them? They're in my basement.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah,
Okay, we had like one lecture at the beginning of uni. If a strange Genasi asks you if you want to see something in his basement,
Syntagon, if you want to stay up here, that's fine. I will go.
I'll come along. I'm just saying, let's go in with our eyes open.
Oh no!
Wait, you don't want me to stay up here with you, Syntagon?
Want to come with me, Syntagon?
I will come and hug the birdie.
Just like the support therapy party.
The therapy Aarakocra.
Oh my god.
He goes up to what looks like a very heavy, sturdy, thick bookcase. And he very easily pushes it aside. And behind it, it looks like there's like dungeon-like steps moving down. And he turns to you and says, "Now, please don't tell the rest of the village about this. I worry it would distress them."
Oh, you do have a very impressive secret door with a whole hidden part of your house. It's very impressive. Depending on what it is, of course, we will keep our promise. If it's something like, I don't know, murdered innocents or decapitated bodies of children or something, then
Where do you come from?
me?
Yes. Is this a common occurrence in people's basements where you come from?
No, it's always good to be on the alert. Of course, if you do not know somebody well, they can do anything. You never know.
I feel I should warn you that I've been trained in self-defense. I know Fireball and I'm not afraid to use it.
I just look at him and then I motion to myself.
I love it. I love it so much.
I do have been trained in the ways of self-defense, but not in the stranger danger kind of way.
I have done nothing to them, I assure you, other than to contain them. But it's very distressing for me. Please, if you would follow me. He holds up his hands and to show you that he doesn't have any weapons on him. And says, I'm not intending to do you any harm.
So before we go down, you stay up here. Make sure nothing happened. And I'm going to take him off and throw him on a couch. And as soon as, I guess, like, as soon as we start going down, you just hear a voice from over there. Okay!
So Diley actually starts to look a little bit uncomfortable as she goes down the stairs because she's underground and she's not supposed to be underground.
It is, as you go down, a bit cooler. It looks like the basement is the only thing that's made of stone that you've seen. And it sort of almost looks like it's been shaped out as opposed to somebody like digging a hole, sticking like foundation in, putting bricks and stuff. It looks like the stone has been moved and compressed to make this stairway down. You reach the bottom and you see a door at the bottom of the stairs, and he turns to you once more and says, "I hope you're prepared for this." And he opens the door, and beyond there is sort of a hallway, and there are two almost rooms of glass on either side. And it doesn't look like anything is in either of the rooms. But everybody make me a perception check. Y'all.
I'm too busy worrying about Esteban to focus on this.
Puck's just not perceptive
I'm just
at all.
nervous about being underground.
So as you look into these two rooms and see essentially nothing, there are some torches on the walls, but like it's casting weird shadows. Syntagon, in one of them, you see what looks to be almost sand coalescing at the bottom. And you look towards the other and you see a puddle that seems to be forming up. And as Diley and Finn and Puck are all peering in, and Syntagon is sort of backing away, seeing what's happening, on either side forms splat against the glass. And it looks like it's almost a dripping Earth Genasi that has formed and is turning into mud in front of Diley's eyes in one of the chambers. And in front of Puck and Finn, the sand has coalesced into a different Earth Genasi and is just flinging itself against the glass over and over and dissipating and reforming. And your host, Gast, looks revolted by this and turns away and stares back at the door.
You good, Gast? Sorry.
Is he doing a knuckle bite? Is that what he's doing?
He almost looks like he's gonna throw up. He says it is distressing to me.
Puck is going to go up to the glass that has the Earth Genasi looking, just slamming up against it, and see if, just really carefully observing if there's anything either recognizable about the face, if there's any other details as to what this is.
The sand one? Or the mud one?
Whichever one I was closest to. I don't think it really matters.
Okay. Roll me what stat you think would be relevant if you're looking to see, like, is this some magical effect? Is this, can I, like, make out a face? And
17 for Arcana. I want to see what kind of magic or what has caused this to happen, because this is not normal.
Definitely not normal. It seems like some sort of elemental magic. This is definitely some sort of magical effect. This is not any sort of natural order of things. But you don't see that it's wearing any sort of, like, you know, if it was like a cursed amulet, like, or if it had like some runes in it. At no point as you're watching it form and dissipate and fling itself do you see anything like that evident. So it doesn't look like it's a magical effect that it has on its person.
Okay.
But you can also tell, looking over at Gast, who's a Gast, he does not seem to be maintaining any sort of like concentration. You can't see him like casting anything either.
Okay. And does the figure react at all?
When you get close to it, instead of just sort of flinging itself at the glass, it starts flinging itself at you. I mean, there's still the glass there, of course, but instead of just like random, it's just like against it, right at you.
Can I roll like Arcana or Investigation to see like if I know what this magic effect might be?
Arcana, if you're looking to see like maybe like what kind of magic it is, or Investigation if you're trying to see like what should this look like in its like natural state?
Nope.
I can go.
What's
Um,
magic?
I'll cast detect magic. Like save us some.
Baby.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just sitting in the back, like tapping the pipe against my mouth rapidly, like.
Okay. All right.
I
So.
love Santa God.
It's amazing.
All right. So starting with, baby, I love you, but not that much. I'm kidding. I love you so much. So starting with from behind you, I have to brush up on my schools of magic super fast midstream. Don't worry about me.
I would also like to say that Puck has somehow produced either a pen or some kind of writing device from their huge, ridiculous hair and has started scribbling furiously, like right here, and takes a piece of paper out of nowhere when they run out of room and starts scribbling on the piece of paper on the glass as this thing is just like throwing itself against
Syntagon is
glass.
resisting the urge to prestidigitate your arm clean.
So from
Not to be
Girl.
annoying, just because it doesn't feel right about having inconspicuous skin.
From the man behind you, you can sense the School of Enchantment.
Enchantment.
From the two that are in the little cages, cells, question mark, there seems to be like a mixture. It's not just, you're not just getting one school. You are getting transmutation is pretty strong, abjuration, and enchantment.
There's a lot of magic going on down here. Enchantment from you, Gastly.
He kind of like looks a little abashed, and he pulls out an amulet, and he says, yes, it was supposed to be blessed. I keep it for sentimental reasons.
Uh-huh. And there's enchantment going on in there, and transmutation and abjuration.
I'm gonna insight that.
Girl, he doesn't
And-
seem to be lying, but he might
Finn's
be wrong.
just in a dazed because of all the big words being thrown around. Miss Esteban.
Yeah, Puck is turning back to Syntagon. There's perhaps elemental magic, however, there's no runes, there's no amulets, whatever this is, there's no concentration coming from Gast. No offense, Gast. And turns to Gast again. Do these things react violently to anything that comes near them? Whether it be me, you, the dog.
He looks at the one that's Sandy and says, she does. And looks at the one that's sort of like goopy mud and points to him and says, he has not. But neither seem very happy with their state.
I could reduce them to 1/8 size.
Why would you do that?
Well, they might do less damage to each other.
Well, they're not damaging each other, are they?
Well, the way they're slamming their head against the glass.
I was gonna say, can I stun one of them to try and get them to just chill out for a minute? But they're like not solid form, so she's like, ah.
Oh, we could get that Tom down here to do dispel. To dispel. To do the dispel.
Oh, that spell.
No, dispel.
I still have a very large potato that I could trade him for doing She holds up this massive freaking potato.
Where you hold that, bird?
She opens up a wing and it's got like bobble. No, like a trench coat full of potatoes.
All watches.
All potatoes.
She does
Just
have
vials full of potatoes.
she, does have she does have a bunch of shiny things on her because birds love shinies. But
Can I have a look at your amulet for a moment? Gast?
Sure. And he like holds it out.
I'd like to take it and cast Identify on it.
Okay. You're such a good girl. It is cat hair in my nose. As you are looking at it and casting over it, it appears to be an amulet of bless. It essentially gives him a permanent bless on himself.
Do they have anything like this?
No. I don't know what they had before I found them, but they didn't have it on them when I found them.
As I said, there's no visible runes, or I'm pretty sure this doesn't have to do with a cursed item that was on them. Do you know for sure they are Genasi? They could just be taking that form? As I turn to Gast.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yes. Yes.
I am not sure, to be honest. I'm not much of the magical type. I work with metal with my hands, my muscles. I just I had
God.
Girl. Well, how did you? Oh, I was about. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had a friend help me with this basement. I did not make all this.
A friend.
Roll an insight.
Also, I'm eventually gonna question him on how on earth did he come across these.
For sure.
Unless you give me advantage, I don't know none.
Can I insight him on that?
Yes.
No.
I want to jump in.
Wasn't there a 50-50 thing? Can I use that on this?
Sure, yeah.
Totally can,
Okay.
yeah. Flip a coin.
But,
I would like to do that.
but
I don't
if you
know.
roll something bad, I'm gonna make something bad happen.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, no.
I'm doing it.
Can we get that drum roll?
Oh no, that was wrong. Wait.
Slash
I know how to
before
roll
the-
slash.
There we go.
Yeah.
So two's tails, right?
Sounds good.
Or
Wait, no.
two's
Up
bad.
to you. I usually
Okay.
say, like, because one will be red and two will be green.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Sounds good. Okay, ready? Woo!
No whammies.
Nice. Oh goodness. So I don't know why I just put my face in a cat when I'm allergic to them. So, Finn, as you are trying to figure this guy out, a friend. Yeah, it makes sense because this guy is a blacksmith. He clearly does not look magical. Aside from being made of rock, maybe he can do like rock stuff, but yes. And Puck, you watch him as he says, "A friend," and he looks to the sand creature and looks back, and it's just the slightest of looks, but you notice as he does it, and he seems to get that same sort of nauseated look on his face.
Gast.
Yes.
At this, Puck is going to sigh, realizing they don't really know this man and don't really want to do any heavy interrogating. We're going to hold off on the serious questions for right now. I'm going to write down a list of stuff I want to ask him, though.
So at this point, Ori was like, I should have done Cobalt Soul Monk. Detective Monk.
Syntagon's still considering burning everything to the ground. You might, if you've stayed with him for any period length of time, you might hear him occasionally at night saying, "I am not a murder hobo. I am not a murder."
Well, how did you come across these? It seems like a odd thing to just have on your person or to come across.
These creatures or this amulet, which
These them, yes.
well, he takes a pause and looks distastefully at them and says, "That one," and he points to the mud, the mud man.
Yeah.
And says, "I was working one day in my forge, and he came to me, and I didn't know what he was at first. He almost seemed to be just a magical trick, mud that moved like sentient quicksand. And when he came close, he started to rise up, and he solidified for the briefest of moments. And all he said was, 'Help.' They did this." And then he dissipated back into mud. And I had a bucket, for pouring water onto my metal to help it cool. And I know that this sounds strange, but I scooped him up in the bucket, and I brought him inside, and he collapsed again and reformed, and he couldn't quite get all the way back. He looks at the mud man sinking into a puddle and reforming back up. And you can see that when he reforms, like if you've ever played like Pokemon or something, he gets sort of like to muck level and then just sort of melts back down. It's like he can't quite get all the way to being like formed into a person shape.
Yeah.
And he pauses and seems very uncomfortable for a moment. And he says, "But she left after I found him. She said it was important we know. Of course, I agree. She's always such a free spirit, but I didn't put her there. I came down one day. We had built an extra in case we found another, and she was in there. And as soon as she saw me, it was violent. And I barely managed to get out. I closed the door. He gestures to, it looks like you could barely see like a seam in the glass, and says, I She said nothing. But I know it is her.
Syntagon has begun pacing back and forth, puffing on his pipe, like he has read detectives do.
Diley's just trying to think back if she knows anything about, like, this happening elsewhere.
You could roll me a nature check.
Oh, I'm so bad at that.
Hmm.
Actually, you know what? Can I? Never mind. No, I'll keep it.
Finn's gonna try to console Gast.
To console him?
Yeah.
Aw.
Okay.
I'm guessing he's a little down in the dumps.
He does not look pleased.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cheer him up.
He looks ghastly.
Huh. Don't worry, I'm just rolling some things.
Oh boy.
Oh, that never makes anyone nervous.
Don't
Ah,
worry.
I love
Um,
hearing that.
As
She's
you
not
go-
doing what I do as a DM, I just throw a dice on the table and don't tell them what it is.
See, I thought that would be, rude to not let the viewers see that I was plotting. So you go to console him, and you can see as you kind of like go up and give him a bear hug or give him a consoling, almost too hard pat on the shoulder. That there, upon getting closer, you can see that there have been 2 gemstone lines that are down his face, almost where the rock seems to have receded to reveal this core underneath. And he says, I don't know if you can help me. I don't know if you know anything about this, but please. I need
Welcome to the academy. Please take your
her
seats.
back, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't afraid of ending up the same way.
I think you should keep that amulet on. As often as you can.
I would never take it off, especially not now, but
So,
if you would like, I can open him up. I don't know if inspecting him any closer would help.
don't suppose anyone here knows cleric spells, do they?
I know
I-
none.
No, I am a monk. I can stun him.
I was thinking more,
Maybe.
restoration, lesser restoration, greater restoration, healing spells of any sorts. I don't think... I'm very well familiar with Melf's Acid Arrow, but I don't think it's going to help us in this situation.
I can perform a cure wounds as well as make healing potions should we need them. However, one of the I put it in not in chat but in Roll20 because of my background. If I don't know a specific lore about this happening in the past, if I don't know it off the top of my head, then Puck will be able to know where to get that information if that information was available. I would like to do that thing.
Invoke the research. Okay, so you are looking at these things. Maybe if you could find a wizard that specialized in elemental magic, or if you could find someone who was very into experimentation, perhaps not exactly correct experimentation.
Fuck. Yeah.
because it looks like what has happened here, like I said before, not natural, definitely magical.
Yeah.
You know the type of person you need to be looking for.
Does Puck convey any of this to the group?
Probably because it seems like Syntagon has been on the same wavelength of looking for magic and stuff. We'll probably pull him aside and mention, does this look like experimentation to you? This looks like it was on purpose. This looks like somebody set the mud one out to start infecting. I don't know quite what. This doesn't, obviously it's not natural.
Yes!
Sounds like an old man.
Diley's just like, I don't know what's going on. She's doing like the Ricky Bobby thing with her hands, just like.
That was my wise voice. Sometimes it breaks, but that was my wise voice.
It's a very wise voice.
Thank you. I like to think so. Sometimes we can use. I have a spell which uses elemental magic. If you would like to try it, I can offer you a plethora of elements, including and limited to acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder.
That is very, very useful, Syntagon.
I do not know that any of those would help in this sort of situation.
Do you have perhaps do you know a lot about elemental magic, or perhaps somebody at the college, an acquaintance who specializes in elemental magic? Because I would rather not try to contact somebody with Diley, looks like you want to say something.
I'm just like, if my master was a four elements monk, would that have any bearing on this conversation?
Were they experimental with
My
potentially
master is the avatar. No,
with potentially questionable morals?
I know a lot, Puck, a lot about military tactics and evolution of military defenses. I have studied all the military arms books 1 through 8, To Rise Up volumes 1 to 4, Defense of the Empire 3 to 6. I was told not to read 1 and 2, but I imagine that's next semester.
Of course.
And also military law half-orcs. Were they wrong, or did they have something going?
is that relevant to the current conversation?
You asked what I specialized in.
Yes. It's very interesting, and it might come in handy. Do you happen to know of any, perhaps, in the military, if there's a war going on, perhaps a side would either experiment or secretly infect the enemy, or have some kind of quote-unquote chemical warfare, if that were a term in this world.
Because I know about this war that's going on and the details of said war, do I know if either side is doing that?
It definitely sounds possible. That definitely sounds like that could be the thing.
Do I know which side it might be? Okay, she's gonna pipe up and
Well, but you'd probably just after Syntagon gets in. Well, the only chemical spells I know are Melf's Acid Arrow and Chromatic Orb, so the likelihood is that the wizard would be a slayer if they're using chemical warfare.
So, it is entirely possible that both sides of this war that's going on right now are using some sort of experiments that have gone obviously horribly wrong or very right, depending on your view on these things. So we should probably maybe go find some member of the military for either side.
Gast looks very taken aback at this and says, the military. Oh, that's. I mean, of course, we've seen our share of problems with them, but Tildapel has always been a peaceful nation. And vowed no one really comes through here. A few merchants every now and then from other side, but to think that they would intentionally.
Maybe
I
it was
mean,
not intentional. Maybe it was accidental contamination.
It seems as if this was extremely intentional and extremely focused, at least for this, on elemental magic, if not specifically, unfortunately, Genasi.
Is either side Genasi? Is either side of the word Genasi?
Does either side have a certain je ne sais quoi?
Gast is and either side of the war.
Yeah.
You have not heard of them specifically being more aligned with one side of the other. So, Valkugan is more known for having like dragonborn and dwarves and stuff like that, whereas Mozani tends to be more elfy, gnomish, that sort of thing.
This is over trade, correct? The war?
Yes, the war is over trade.
How do Genasi have a specific hold on a certain element of trade or of crafting? As you said, Gast was a blacksmith. Is there anything that either side specifically needs? Specifically, maybe from Earth Elementals or Genasi?
Roll me investigation or history.
While she's asking that, would the Harpers have any in-depth knowledge on that? Because I am a Harper agent, so they would be digging into stuff.
The war and such?
Yeah.
In terms
Sorry.
I don't even need the roll anymore. She sees sound.
In terms of basic war knowledge, you know that the Harpers are definitely digging in there. I'm gonna need you to roll another history to see if you specifically know what they've been researching.
Would the Harpers be more aligned with the elf side?
You imagine that they'd be most closely aligned with Tildapel because they would want to remain fairly factionless.
Okay.
But they might have dealings on either side depending on what their aim is.
No.
So with a history of 7, you're not really sure. You haven't really been involved in the trade war. Your focuses have been a little more on sort of like, well, what would your focuses be more on?
They'd probably have her sent out to go find any information on dragons' movements.
So you've been more focused on like monster threats. This whole trade thing, like, who cares like who has access to the sea when there are literal fire breathing monsters? So to you, this whole war seems, well, increasingly worrisome. Has seemed to be sort of like it's a trade dispute, they'll figure it out. Dragons are actually a big deal. With a history of 17, you can know that were you thinking along the same lines? Puck, you are muted, perhaps.
Oh, I was trying to. I thought I didn't know if the history check was for me or for Darlie.
You can history as well on the war. Valkugnon has definitely the better situation. They have Tildapel on one side, which is neutral to friendly, and then they have this ocean on the other side. They have ports, they have access to a lot of resources, whereas Mozani they have Tildapel, a desert and a swamp. So they are a bit not on the good side of things. Since the ocean is so important to trade, it's possible that Valkognon might be interested in water elementals, but you're not really sure like where the Genasi. They are elemental, but earth, and they're not elementals, so not too sure.
Yeah.
Your investigation, now that I've blathered on for a while, remind me what it was for.
To see if either side would have specific either interest or what was it? It was originally maybe the Genasi have specific holds in trade that the other side needs.
Right. So with an investigation of that, you imagine that the Earth Genasi, as well as all elemental Genasi, have a certain aspect of elemental control with them. Even though this guy says he has no magic, he's clearly a very talented blacksmith.
Yeah.
So the benefit to them, it's possible that Mozani could be trying to dry up the ocean or introduce water into the desert. It's possible that Valkugnon could be trying to harness more of the water power and thinks that it's possible through this. Genasi could be the key to sort of rearranging how the land is shaped.
Fudge. Okay. Well, that's messed up.
Who cares about the land? I'm a bird.
All land is the same when you're 500 feet in
You
the
mean
air. I'm
they
pretty
could
sure that's outside of that.
change things in the land? That's horrifying. Terrible. It's terraforming.
God damn it, Scrat. This is gonna happen every week.
That's the first dad joke all session.
Oh no. Sorry.
Please keep a tally somewhere.
I'll start one, actually.
There needs to be a Moobot chat counter for dad jokes.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can make that counter right now.
I can
Oh my
do it if you want me to do it.
And I can do it through Streamlabs. I have a counter thing that I don't use for anything yet.
Yes. Yes.
Bless.
I have a tree counter for every time I hit a tree in a video game on my channel.
What's it up to?
I don't even want to know.
So as you're all sort of looking and pondering, Gast is sort of like staring at them, and he doesn't seem very comfortable, and he says, if you would like some time to do whatever you feel needs done, I can leave you to your discussions. You are, I feel, much more emotionally and magically equipped to deal with this than I am.
Puck is going to go up to them, go up to Gast, and I am so sorry you have to go through this. I too know what it is like to be parted from your loved one. I feel for you. And then kind of foregoing any social awareness at all, Puck is going to start going on. Oh yes, my Rhiannon, my dear Rhiannon. The things I could say, all your life, you have never seen a woman taken by the wind like Rhiannon. Nobody got that.
Looks at Earth Genasi. That seems to have been taken by the wind. Looks back at you.
Anyway, yes, of course. We will handle this.
He pulls out 2 keys from his pocket and says, this one is for him. this one is for her, but I would not recommend opening her cell.
Of course, thank you.
And he turns and he goes up the stairs.
Say hi to Esteban for me.
I will.
So we go in cell.
Okay, at this moment, you hear a very loud splintering. And you can all slowly turn to see a very large crack in the glass of the sandy lady. And sand is already trickling out as she continues to slam against it. And it is starting to form on the other side and spiral up.
Everyone get back. Everyone get back.
I am underground and I cannot get away from the sand monster on the floor. She's just like, she's just gonna be ready to stunning strike the sand.
I wanna put myself like kind of in between the sand and everybody else, kind of like being a meat shield.
Meat shield. Okay.
Yeah. Meat shield Finn.
I'm gonna say those words that we all love to hear. Everybody roll initiative.
Ah, damn! I thought you were gonna say, "How do you want to do this?"
Oh,
This is not critical.
Can I, prior to initiative, unarmored defense? I just put it in the chat for you.
You get that automatically, I think.
Yeah, you get it automatically.
Yeah, it's a passive.
Oh yeah. I look. You think I'd know this because I play a monk in another game and we're already like level 8. So it's like.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna. This is the worst map I've ever drawn in my life. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready.
Should I move to a map screen? Let's do it.
I drew a quick map one day of a cave that the players were in, and I didn't do this on purpose, but it ended up looking like Waluigi, and I still haven't heard the end of that.
That is the best story. Why would you not want to look like Waluigi?
Obviously.
Okay, so.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
I
I might still be drawing it in real time. So what you're looking at here is the two cells.
Hang on, let me just fade across so the chat can see it as well.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you, Aggie. 500 bits comes in from Aggie. Aggie, if you'd like to give anyone a critical success or fail die, you may. 50-50 die, I mean.
Oof, that transition though. Oh.
You okay there, buddy? Everything okay?
Is the bird me? Is the bird me?
Yes. I don't think they have a sock, but I'm trying real hard.
Esteban's upstairs, sadly.
Yeah, true.
Esteban's overpowered, okay.
What do you want your minis to be, Finn?
Just I'm okay with whatever.
With whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll be
perfect.
Perfect. Oh, I can't add a token myself. That's a shame. Cool. There must be wizard, right?
Must be wizard.
Must be.
Aren't you you're a dragonborn, aren't you?
Tiefling.
Oh, you're a tiefling. Right, I forgot. Okay. Wizard. I'm just using the net images, so
You know, there's a bunch of free tokens in the.
they don't show up for me, which is weird.
That is weird.
I just have the option for premium assets or the dumb things that I've uploaded off the internet to my brother's game. So yeah, and then I will have Puck. Do you have a thing you would like to be?
I would like a very, very detailed portrait made of Puck, preferably hand drawn. But barring that, anything works.
Okay.
When your party gets overly attached to a sock potato.
So I think I know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Can you guys control your tokens? Or the tokens, I guess? Somebody try wiggling it around.
Negative.
Nope.
Negative. Scrat, how do I do that?
I think we need a
You have to assign the tokens to us.
Yeah, you have to click on the token, open a character sheet, and then click assign a selected token.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, is this one the one that's breaking out?
Yes.
Okay.
Am I the one standing closest to it there?
I just put you somewhere.
Yeah,
I was gonna say-
don't worry.
I think I'm
God.
next to it.
Me closest. Me pushed everybody back.
I think, well, Diley's still gonna hold her ground. She's just not happy that she's underground fighting a ground monster right now.
So I rolled randomly for the critical die, and typically it gave it to Diley, who now has 2 success or fail die.
Nice.
And we're entering combat, so good time to start using those up, eh? Because
I'm gonna use both of them.
they don't roll over.
Okay, so in just a second, this should be good. All right, you all should be able to move yourselves. So go ahead and position yourselves how you would be.
I
can't-
cannot move my toxicity.
What?
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Inconceivable. Okay, let me see.
That was good.
10 out of 10.
I don't know why you can't. It's on you.
Do we have edit access to our characters? Do we have view access to our characters? Player is controllable by and all that good stuff.
I have in players' journals can be edited and controlled by. I don't know what else options I can give you.
Most peculiar. And you've assigned us the tokens?
Let
Yeah.
me reload.
Yeah, try reloading, and if that works, cool. And if it doesn't, then I can just be your puppeteer, and you can tell me where you want to go. You can just ping the button, and I'll put you there.
Yeah.
Sock puppeteer.
I'll wait for someone else to reload, because if I reload, I'll have to reset all the overlay.
I am trying to reload right now.
Real quick, what layer do you have those tokens on? Do you have them on the map layer or the token layer? Because if they're not on the token layer, we won't be able to move them.
They are on the token layer.
I still cannot move.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay,
let me try. Let me try something.
I was about to say
Oh,
when
wait, delete all of those. Delete all the tokens. Everyone, drag your token from your name. I can move mine now.
I
Oh,
can't,
dope.
I can't drag my token from my
Awesome.
name.
Have at thee, Sandy.
Oh god, I've crashed everything. What's happened? Close that.
Can't believe this.
Yeah, click on your click and drag your name over, Scrat.
I currently can't do anything in Roll20 except look at it. Just as I was saying, hey, I can't, Page unresponsive, no!
Oh, no.
we'll get there, guys.
Have
Okay.
faith.
Overlay. It's dead.
Oh
Well,
no! Boo.
I don't know what to say. About
We
that.
gone done borked it.
Boo! I mean, depending on how badly it's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about like Roll20 stuff, you guys.
It should be working once he reloads in. He just needs to drag his character name over and he'll be able to move it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm getting there.
I was about to say, in the meantime, do you guys want to hear the potato song that I know that is from the kids' channel? Because I will regale you in a lovely singing version of
I
that.
don't understand why this is even a question. Of course.
Yeah, why, why is it not being sung already?
Yeah,
Actually-
like
Here, because you have to actually hear the accompaniment to it. And there's an animation of little sentient potatoes with stick arms and legs and big eyes.
I think Esteban's gonna want to hear this. I'll bring him back.
Okay. Potato song. Simple nursery rhymes.
I was about to be very excited if that was the extent of the song.
I would have been so happy.
Like hyping it up so much as just potato song. All right, that's it.
Wait, can you guys see? No. Yeah. Wait.
I'm terrified.
1 potato, 2 potatoes, 3 potatoes, 4, 5 potatoes, 6 potatoes, 7 potatoes more. 1 potato, 2
It's literally
potatoes,
the
3
whole thing.
potatoes, 4.
Ah!
Somewhere a goblin is really excited.
But look at the tiny baby potato, everybody. That's it. Over and over
Maybe
again.
the potatoes are good stew potatoes.
There's
You
that.
ever-
There's the creepy Wheels on the Bus song that also the kid likes to watch over and over again. And one that goes, "Do you like broccoli? You like broccoli? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do you like ice cream? You like ice cream? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Getting the
Do
propaganda
you
in.
like?"
Getting the propaganda in
broccoli
nice
ice
and early. No. No. Damn
Nope,
it, no.
I don't.
I've been subject to a broccoli muffin in the past. They're evil. They look like
Yucky.
blueberry.
Yucky.
Anyway.
Wait, broccoli muffins exist?
I wish
No.
they didn't.
Oh,
They should not exist.
I was gonna say, I guess I have been under a rock.
Syntagon will be hiding behind Diley.
Yeah, position y'all selves how you want to be.
So me and Diley are right up in its sandy grill.
Yum. Diley, you are actually going to be first also.
I will protect the wizard, but I'm gonna try to punch the sand first.
Okay.
I guess, is it my turn?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you're up first.
I'm gonna smack it first. Oh, I get 2 attacks and then I get my awesomeness. Okay, I'm gonna smack it with my quarterstaff.
So right, so it's 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That does not hit.
Okay. Second attack.
That will hit.
Okay. 4, and then I'm going to flurry of blows, and on the first one, I'm going to use one of my dice.
To crit or to flip the coin.
Yeah.
To flip the coin. Okay.
Yeah.
Diley wants to one-shot this thing. Hopefully.
Oh no!
So
Sorry, I
Well,
just.
I'm gonna use my second one on the second flurry of blows. Because this is gonna go really bad.
excellent. So you bonk it for some damage. And as you go to hit with your bear bird fist, you punch in and you feel it grain like going up your arm, like sand just enveloping you, and you are going to take
This is some Gara shit.
Like a bad day at the beach.
Goodbye, arm.
10 damage.
Ooh, yeah, that hurt. She's hurting a little bit.
Ne-
am I
is that your turn? You are not grappled, but you will be taking ongoing damage. You will be able to save at the start of your next turn.
I can't move away, can I then?
You can move away. You're just still gonna be Sandy.
Alright, I'll stay where I'm at. That's it. Oh, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. On to Syntagon.
How big are the hexes? Sorry.
Each hex is 5, so it's the same as a square. It's just 5 feet, or one space of movement. So if you have your move listed as 5, then
Yeah. Okay. So it's all set up just right. Ooh, where are you going? Oh, okay. That's not me. In that case, this is the stairs out, right?
yeah. The weird Yep, that's the stairs out.
Awesome. I was told to retreat. I am a warcaster. I know when other people tell me to retreat, it means I'm in danger and I'm squishy. Because I understand military tactics. So I'm going to cast Expeditious Retreat. And
Really?
Yep. And I'm going to double dash up the stairs 90 feet and away to the wild poo yonder. I'm noping out.
Okay. All right. So you nope out pretty expeditiously. Next up is her. She is going to spend most of her action or her move continuing to seep through. And when she has something of a form, you see weird dripping motions, and almost seems like she's casting something.
Oh no.
It's gonna be okay. So as she kind of finishes, you hear a percussive splintering as she seems to have broken the glass on the other containment chamber wide open. It is almost as though it is shattered.
Oh.
And she further like reaches out towards Daily that has the swarming sands. And you are going to go ahead and take another 6 damage.
Okay.
And it is on to Puck.
She hates being underground right now.
Fuck.
I'll be right back. Okay. So if you're paying attention to Puck, it almost seems as if they become blurry or melty and their face starts to like morph. And as the blurriness continues, you see bigger, you see, and suddenly, just in a snap, focused, somebody totally different is standing there. You see a huge woman with just these big muscular arms and like heavy scale plate armor who has a gigantic sword strapped to her back. And so
Finn's jaw drops.
Yep,
Did you just She-Ra on us?
I did totally just She-Ra on y'all. So I probably should use my action first. Would probably be a good idea. No, that's not the right. Sorry, I was looking on D&D Beyond as well, and I got confused. All right, so for the first, I am going to do a magic missile. Where's my Eldritch Blast? No, I just opened up Synagon's character sheet. I apologize. I was like, I didn't know I had magic missile. What's going on? There we go.
And he knows how to use it.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do an Eldritch Blast as this woman kind of raises her hand, and does an 11 hit?
An 11 will not hit.
Which is totally fine. Doesn't quite get that, but as a bonus action, I'm gonna choose here. I'll just put the text. Choose one creature within blah 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 blah. So for 1 minute, that target is cursed. I gain a bonus to damage rolls in the future against the cursed target. Any attack rolls on a critical hit. Yada yada yada. Okay, so there's that.
Okay.
And go ahead.
Okay, that hits it, and then you still have your move.
And I am going to get closer to it because I see Diley is kind of like taking some damage. So I move.
Diley's less than half HP now.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm right here now. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. We are on to Finn.
Okay. I'm gonna use my magic on him and try to hit him. What do I do? Hit the weapon I'm gonna use to see if I hit?
Yes.
You click on the name of the weapon, it'll roll it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if my magic works. Yes, I named my great axe magic.
That will definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Booyah.
Click on the name. Yeah. No, click on the name in chat.
Oh, duh.
Okay.
6.
Okay, so as you slash against this sandy abomination, it seems to sort of reform a bit and looks at, if it could look at you, it seems to be looking at you. It seems to be more directed towards you.
All right. I'm gonna swing again.
Okay.
Come on, magic.
That will hit.
Booyah.
Girl, I swear.
Booyah.
Very nice. My health counter is in my cat's tail, apparently. So you slash it again, and this time it seems to like have a little bit more trouble reforming from where it was. Part of it seems to sort of be dripping off of your axe as you pull it back. And are you going to move or bonus?
I'm very tempted to use action surge and just go at it again. Fuck it, yeah. I'm gonna use action surge.
Do it. It's late in the session. We got time. Go.
Okay, never mind.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Fine.
Kill it.
I'm going.
Kill it now. Get
21.
Yes.
Okay.
DiMaggio.
9.
Okay.
Boom. Hopefully.
It is still up, but just does not look very.
Do I get my second attack?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah. It's the full attack. It's the full standard action. That will not hit though.
Shit.
I want to
Right.
laugh if this is the second stream I'm in of your Scrat that I die.
I can make
would
that
be
happen
so
if you like.
No.
I'd be so sad. Don't know.
I think I said earlier, I've got Fireball and I'm not afraid to use it.
Okay, so
It's
it
called
is back
splash
up.
damage. Go see a cleric. Sorry, Ollie.
So it is the. Oh my god. You know what would be great if I could actually pick select move instead of putting little dots all over my screen.
You get a temporary HP from Aggie saying no killing Ori.
So
Just one temporary hit point.
Just with the one temporary hit point.
the Mudman cometh and slurps up behind y'all. And I will let the two people he is next to roll me a reaction of perception, insight, or investigation.
Me?
That would be, yes, you and Finn. Okay, so from perception, it looks like he's trying to form a mouth and say something, and it sounds sort of like woof. And from insight, he does not look aggressive towards you.
Ooh.
We will be back to Daily, who will take 4 damage at the start of your turn, and you can roll a dex save against this.
Okay. Diley is looking kind of hurt, but I got a +7, so that didn't help.
Don't you have the 50-50 die as well?
I used both of them.
You do have a reroll, though. You do have a reroll.
I used the reroll unless I have a second one.
I did not track that you lost the reroll.
Also, I think somebody had 100 bits for no killing Ori.
Yeah, he gave me the 1 hit point.
That was the 1 hit
gone
point
already. Alright, I am going to move out of his way to the side of her. Here, somewhere this way. And I'm gonna just try and I'm gonna use the thing. I'm gonna do the thing. Can I do that within 5 feet?
I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing that says you can't.
Yeah, you can do that. But it's a spell attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 13 is just not quite there.
Okay, well, second attack then.
That is there.
6, and then flurry of blows. So, boom.
Boom,
Okay.
boom, boom, boom.
Those will both hit.
Okay. She's a little mad now. Getting eaten by a sand monster, but it's okay.
You hit it with this this blinding light, and you can almost hear it like kind of like grain. If it could be screaming, you imagine it would be screaming, and then you punch it a couple more times, flinging some sand as you go. Syntagon, you have run up the stairs to a very surprised puppy and man. The man seems to be smoking something that he kind of secrets away as soon as you come up.
That good shit.
Hey, have you got any of that spare?
Really?
Is everything okay down there?
Oh no, absolutely not.
What has happened?
It's best not to go down there. And Syntagon's going to close the door behind him and cast Arcane Lock. Just don't.
He kind of looks at you and sizes you up, kind of, and passes you whatever he has in his hand,
Thanks.
which appears to be a hand-wrapped cigarette? But you can definitely tap some of the tobacco out of it.
Back.
Oh, Diley's just like down there yelling, "Stupid underground sand monsters!"
Just prestidigitate. Thanks.
So, it is on to her turn. Unless there's something else you can do.
No, I can only attack enemies that I can see.
You suck so much.
Locked us in the basement with the sand monster. Diley's gonna murder him when she comes back up those stairs.
Oh my god.
So upon getting hit,
Oh no, wait. I will actually. I will. Sorry. I will. I'll be like, hey, we should go and get like the guard or something.
I'm sort of the guard.
Oh,
I am the police.
is it just you? Don't you have like staff or something?
No, it's just me. I mean, not much really goes on here. Everyone sort of leaves us alone.
Yeah, don't go down there.
Bastard.
I'm gonna go make a call.
What would you call?
Well, don't. Oh, sorry, you're not in the wizarding circle, are you? You know the message cantrip, the old. We call it calling. The
Never heard of it.
semantic components. It's real good. You speak into your finger and you can hear through your thumb. It's great.
He kind of looks very dubiously about this.
I haven't actually learned it yet. That's why I have to go to make a call. I need to go to someone who knows how to do it.
So everybody who is not Syntagon, roll me a con save.
Oh no. I have 0 points in that.
Shit.
Not awful.
Okay.
I want to trade.
So Puck is fine from this. But the other two are going to take 18 damage, and you're pushed 10 feet away from this woman.
I'm down.
As she casts, well, your corpse, no, your unconscious body is pushed 10 feet.
I'd like it on the record that I had nothing to do with this death.
Away from her as she casts a very percussive spell. It's sort of like a thunder wave.
She didn't launch me out of an airplane. It's okay.
It is now Puck's turn.
Boom. Okay. So as my action, you see Puck, now this huge burly woman, has a gloved, armored hand reaching towards the sand, and it starts to spark. And as she grasps a bit of sand, she's going to cast Shocking Grasp. Please let it have been a good, what was it, 16? Does a 16 hit?
Yep, roll me damage.
Yeah, alright, that's going to be 7 lightning damage.
Okay.
And I think I have something else. Wait, just one second. Yes, I do. As a bonus action, I have this amazing spell called Magic Stone. Literally just going to get a pebble and throw it at her head. Does an 11 hit?
It does not, but
Okay.
it just sort of like kind of like goes right at her, and it sort of like a sand hole forms, and then like
It's okay.
And were you wanting to move at all?
Let's see. Yeah, without getting an opportunity attack, hopefully, just like 5 feet back.
Okay. I believe that is disengage. You can take your whole move to move 5 feet back. Is it this edition?
Yeah. Wait. Never mind. I don't want that. It's okay. I'm not disengaging. Puck's here. I'm
Here to stay.
Yes. I'm here. I'm fighting.
All
Boom.
right. On to Finn.
Yee! I'm gonna get back up here.
Okay.
And let's start the ladder again. Where's my magic? 15.
That'll hit.
Oh yeah. 12.
Boom.
Ah!
So thank you very
Yeah.
much to Damien Killer OG. Comes in with 100 bits. You can give someone 10 HP. Let us know who you want to give it to.
I want to give it to Warrior Diley because she's dying right now.
Or you could give it to Syntagon, you know.
Because he's literally.
Because Hey, Syntagon, does your back hurt from carrying this team right now?
I'm just gonna haunt him for the rest of his little tiefling life. He's just gonna be haunted by a bird.
Oh, he's
Nine
never
does
living
not
this
fit.
down.
He might help you.
Yeah, my second attack doesn't hit.
So, as this woman was already looking pretty goopy and terrible, this mud man comes and just tackles her, and he and she meet, and they seem to almost like coalesce and meld together in this weird, muddy, sandy, grainy sort of spiraling. It almost looks like they're like fighting to form one singular giant body out of the two of them together. And for a moment, male Earth Genasi's face forms out of it, and it looks horribly, horribly pained as it turns to look at all of you and says, "Run! Get out of here!" And he pushes her back.
I saw that.
He pushes her back, and
oh, God
and
damn
it is back up to roll me a death saving throw, I believe, unless you got temp HP.
14.
Okay, so you are not dying.
Yeah.
You are also not stabilized yet. And Syntagon, tell us about what's going on the other side of the arcane lock.
Hey, this is really good stuff. I guess, they might need help or something. You should really be prepared for that.
They can't even get out because the door's locked.
We can't.
Oh crap! I forgot about that.
I'm gonna cast Enlarge Reduce on you, okay? You're gonna get twice as big, so if they try and, I'm gonna let you in there, and you can... maybe that's a bad idea. What do you think?
I love this character.
He walks over to a corner and pulls out a huge maul and says, "If I have to fight, I'll do what I have to."
Okay, well, just be ready. I'm gonna cast Enlarge Reduce on this guard, but I'm not gonna open the door.
So as you cast Enlarge on him, and he starts getting huge, and his maul starts getting huge also, he's going to go ahead and he takes it and bashes through his own floor and makes a hole. Hang on. I'll draw it with my beautiful arts.
He's gonna land on me, and I'm just gonna fail both of my death saves.
You only had to say you wanted to go down there. I could have opened the door for you.
Makes a hole right there, and there's like it caves in sort of here, so you can there's like this is the worst thing I've ever drawn in my life. You can kind of like climb up and through the hole. It might be kind of tricky though. And then he sort of in his huge estate trudges down, and like the floor is still like up to here on him, so he's just sort of like standing in this big hole with this giant maul.
I bought reinforcements.
You forever.
He looks down and he sees this bird collapsed on the ground, and very gingerly with his artisan's hand, almost like picking up a mosquito, picks it up and sets it on the first story floor.
And Madrogue donates 2 temp HP to Daily, so they will begin to stir.
Okay.
You do begin to stir. Thank you.
Stirring as I'm being picked up and carried through the air.
You wake up and you're like right at his head level as he's like touching you down, And
This is like panicking right now.
You're okay. You're okay now, Diley. It's okay. It's okay. Rest.
okay. Nice. So you look so concerned. So as this war is going on between these two mutated Genasi, suddenly the face that had appeared gets swarmed in the sand, and he looks for a moment through the sand as though he's drowning, the desperate eyes of a man who knows his end is nigh, and they both sink through the floor. And that's where we're gonna end the session. Ah!
I'm about to jump off the cliff you just left us hanging on.
It's gonna be next session. Like, I wonder where.
Next session, we wake up in a room. There's a note. Like, whoa!
If that
Groundhog's
happens,
Day.
Next session, the bird is gone. You don't know if she's dead or not.
Is Esteban okay?
Did you leave him upstairs with Syntagon? That's the question.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Yes. you did.
Yes.
I'm sure I must have had a free bonus action somewhere.
Esteban, no!
What a great way to start off the season. Y'all, that was amazing. Why don't we go round, talk about who we are, where we can find each other online, and all the wonderful things that we get up to. Sorry, I'm holding my face, my throat's sore. Let's start at the bottom of the screen with Buggy77 Kojo. Oh, hi!
Oh, hi. Like you said, I'm Buggy. You can find me here on Twitch at team_totem_. I don't know when, but I'm gonna start doing D&D streaming, hopefully. You can find me on Twitter. I'm starting to get active on that. Thanks for letting me come back.
You are so welcome.
Didn't think I'd have to wear a sock on my hand, but here we are.
Life's full of little surprises, right?
That's the way.
Rest in peace, Esteban Nike.
Sometimes it just be that way. And good luck starting your D&D stream as well. We've had a couple of people who've come from here and started D&D streams, you know, there's been a lot of success out there, and if we can support you, let us know how, and we'll do our best. Like, will you be doing it on the Team Totem?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's a good start. We'll follow you and, you know, keep an eye on you when you're live.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Next up, we have Tired Vampire. Oh, Ori.
Hello. So you can find me everywhere at tired_vampire, Twitch and Twitter both. I do D&D streams, art streams, and video games. Saturday night we are doing Curse of Strahd again, and I'm hopefully, where did we leave off? Hopefully not gonna have to like murder a party member because they let us into trouble and my character's pissed. But no, yeah, I do the D&D streams. I will be starting streaming soon. In addition to the Mad Mage stream, I will be running a Fae only campaign. It will be based in the Feywilds, and they are going to be doing some things for King Oberon. And if anyone knows anything about my King Oberon, he's a lush, so it's gonna be great. But yeah, no, that's about it. I have a Patreon, except for it's Tired Vampire without the _. I do stickers and stuff. This month they're getting a print though. So
fantastic. Well, next, let's go over to my right, and let's go to Abigail Frenzy. Oh, hi, Abby. How was that for you?
Oh, hi. That was really funny. For a first session, it was perfect. I didn't have any idea what Puck was gonna be like. Also, I figured, especially for changeling, I figured they them would be the best pronouns. One, because I need to practice using they them as pronouns, and two, because even if I slip up, it doesn't really matter, because sometimes they're she, sometimes they're he. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I'm not going to be able to go to sleep after this. I have work tomorrow. I'm just going to be up because of adrenaline. So thank you. Yeah, my name is Abby. You can find me on Twitter at AbbyGatorFrenzy. You can find me here on Thursdays. You can also find me on Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Greyhawk channel, where I play a gnome doctor in Liberation of Joff. I'm also on Greyhawk channel on Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. Just follow my Twitter. I do stuff there. You'll see pictures of the kids I nanny and hear potato songs too. I love you guys. Thank you.
Fantastic. In it for that potato content. In more ways than one.
For the sweet potatoes.
Always.
Oh, just a side note. After Diley wakes up, she's gonna grab that potato that she still has, that's the size of a pumpkin, and just launch it at Khan's head. She's just gonna launch it at him. Just like, you left us down there to die.
For a second, I thought you were going to do a Skyrim and just start eating raw potatoes for health, but there we go.
I
Next,
mean, if that's allowed.
Next we go to Holly, Sage Ophelia. Oh, hi, how was that?
Hey, that was fun. I loved getting to know everybody's characters. I think kind of what's going to be the curse of me is I'm just going to want to play with every single person forever that comes on here. I absolutely loved how Syntagon's entire reality has shifted. Diley, I loved that potato interaction the whole time. The accent was on point. Finn, the sock puppet. I mean, Esteban is like a part of my soul now. And Puck, that morph was fantastic. I am so jazzed about all of you guys. Even if I'm not seeing you next week, I'm excited for you to be part of my little world. And there will definitely be some references to y'all later. Even if you can't come back, you live in my house now.
It's canon.
Also, you can find me on Twitter and all that jazz. The links in the stuff. Follow me. I do cool stuff sometimes, but mostly it's just cats and D&D. So it's the coolest stuff.
That's what everyone wants, right? Cats and D&D. Hey, Madrogan chat, why don't you give us a raid cry for tonight? I saw you doing them quotes there. Which one's your favorite? Pick your favorite and give us a raid cry. As we close out here tonight, I'm gonna spam the links in chat as the bot gives you all of the places you can find us, all the places you can support us. Sponsor information, big thank you to Mage Hand Press and Bird in the Storm Publishing who make this all possible. Also, there's websites where you can get 10 to 15% discount. My favourite part has got to be abandoning everyone downstairs and casting Arcane Lock on the door. I'm not usually selfish in my favourite parts. I like to pick someone else's, but no, it's not very often you get to lock a whole party downstairs. Finn definitely shouted, "Get back, retreat!" Like, I heard that, and if there's one thing a war mage knows, and future viewers, if you're watching this, beware. A war mage knows how to follow orders.
Damn it.
That's
you will be hearing from Puck in the future. Not gonna just disappear. This is gonna come back to haunt you.
Diley will haunt him.
Oh, I'm just looking at my traits and thinking about that argument. It's going to be great. Like, my traits are like, I'm used to helping out those who aren't as smart as I am. I'm willing to listen to every side of an argument before I make a judgment. Emotions must not cloud our thinking.
He's going to start finding blue feathers in all of his stuff. Every now and again, he's just going to find one. It's just going to say on it, "I'm watching."
So it looks like our raid cry today is going to be, "I know Fireball and I'm not afraid to use it." So we're going to head over. We're actually going to go and raid Critical Role, because why not? If you guys weren't here at the weekend, they managed to come and pop into the chat while we were live and came and said hello to us and watched us play some Final Fantasy VII. And if you want to see that, you can go back to the VODs and see me freaking out. It was pretty hype. But that is it for now. Until next time, everyone, keep on evoking emotions, and we will see you next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.